It's time for Twit This Week in Tech. We've got a great panel. Georgia Dow is here, Ian Thompson, and from France, Patrick Beja will talk about the new Sora 2 app, the #1 app on the iPhone App Store. Is it just increasing the amount of AI slop in your life? Yahoo is about to sell AOL to a small Italian company for $1.4 billion. And is electronic arts worth $50 billion? The Saudis say it is. All that and more coming up next on Twit.
Podcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
This is Twit, This Week in Tech, episode 1052, recorded Sunday, October 5th, 2025. It's a nice day for CRM. It's time for Twit, This Week in Tech, the show where we cover the week's tech news. I've assembled a international cast for today's show. All the Americans were busy on a Sunday afternoon, so Ian Thompson is here. Oh, you're an American now. You're a citizen, aren't you?
The paperwork is still going through, and the slowdown hasn't helped. Shutdown hasn't helped, but yeah, I'm getting there.
Okay. He's a reporter at the Register. Don't pay any attention to his accent. He is...
I still say
American.
petrol instead of gas. I haven't gotten quite that bad yet.
Oh, and I like what's happening to the blur. Is for some reason, do you see that in the gap between your head and the headphones? We're seeing what's behind you.
Oh, really? Oh, how marvelous. Okay.
So I'll leave that to people to deduce what you're reading. That's hysterical. Well, thank you, Zoom. Thank you. Also here. Now, he's actually from France. He's in France right now. In fact, he's going to be going down to Nice to compete in the Street Fighter competition. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you, what's your Street Fighter handle, Patrick Beja?
Oh, it's not Patrick. I'm not Patrick everywhere. If you want to find me,
Which is
I'm not
totally
Patrick.
confusing.
Patrick was taken on Twitter like
Right.
15 years ago, was it?
So instead of being the real Patrick, you're not Patrick.
Yeah, and no one can ever forget it. Like, not Patrick is etched into your brain the first time you hear it.
It's great to have you, Patrick Beja. It's staying up late for us. Thank you. I appreciate that.
My pleasure.
We'll try to get this done before 3 a.m. And from Canada, she's up there in Montreal. It's Georgia Dow. Hello, Georgia. Good to see you. It's been a long time. YouTube.com/Georgia Dow. Last time you were here, what were you talking about? You were doing, because you do a therapist reacts videos and things like that. And I'm trying to remember.
I don't know what show I was doing. Like,
Because you're always doing the latest thing. Now you're doing.
Now I'm
what?
doing, I did Peacemaker was the last one.
Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Strong or broken? I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And she always, what I love about Georgia, she has many costumes to go along.
Usually, yeah.
Yeah, this is going the extra mile. Well done. Bravo.
It's just a reason for me to dress up. Let's just be honest.
Oh, this is the real reason you have a YouTube channel.
Exactly.
I love it. It's great to see you, Georgia. Thank
just
you.
fun.
Thank you for joining us. So we've got Canada, England, and France in the house. That's nice. We'll get a nice international perspective on the news. The hot story this week is the #1 app on the iPhone App Store, Sora 2. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I think, OpenAI announced their new video generation platform. It competes with VO3 from Google, both of which are able to create video with audio from a text prompt. But I think OpenAI has upped the ante here because they have released basically a AI TikTok. That's what they're calling it with these videos, and it's somewhat addictive. Even though, and I don't know how it got to be #1. You have to have an invite to do it. iJustine literally has posted about 100 videos every few minutes with a pig. One of the things that happens when you sign up for this, and I was able to get an invite, thank you, Anthony Nielsen, is you create what they call your cameo, which is your image of yourself. You pose for the camera, you recite 3 random numbers, which I think is their scheme to keep you from digitizing, other people besides yourself, because the numbers are random. So you have to do it live. And then you're able to create videos like this.
The latest advance in portable telephone. The entire transmitter and receiver are contained in this single case, and it weighs a shade under 5.
I don't know where the other audio is coming from, but it's leaking through. I think that's pretty good. It literally takes 10 seconds to create this cameo, and I can see why people are going crazy. Invites are being traded on Reddit and Discord, and people are getting in. When you get in, you get your own invites. I think I have 4. Don't ask me for them because I'm going to give them to Mike. Is in here. Anthony Nielsen. I did a little video of me and Anthony doing a TikTok dance. But almost immediately, people started creating videos from copyright material. There was quite a bit of it. So almost immediately, OpenAI had to back down and say, oh, we're going to put some guardrails up because people are doing too much stuff. Now, you can still do South Park. Here's a South Park meets Jesus video. I have to figure out where my other tab is open. I've got another. There we go. I've got 2 Sora tabs open, I think. No, actually, I don't. I don't know where it's coming from. That's all right. We don't really want to hear it. It is the AI slop generator par excellence. What do you think?
Well, I suspect they got a lot of calls from lawyers pretty soon after release.
They Sora update number 1. Sam Altman says, we've been learning quickly how people are using Sora, taking feedback from users, rights holders, and other interested groups. We're going to give rights holders more granular control of the generation of characters. Now, one of the things you can do after you make your cameo is you can say, only I can make videos of myself, or only my friends, or it's open to the public. And I thought, actually defensively, better make it open to the public, because then I have plausible deniability no matter what videos are posted of me. Right?
Oh, that's smart.
It's Sora. I didn't do it.
Look at you.
Whereas if I'd held on
Thinking
tightly
like
to
a criminal. I like it.
And by the way, Sam says we're hearing from a lot of rights holders who are excited about this new kind of interactive fan fiction.
How many of those are excited about this?
George Lucas,
How many of those
guessing.
are women? I'm just saying.
Well,
I don't think that it's women being like, oh, I can't wait to see what people
do.
post of me.
Well,
Yeah.
I Justine, to her credit, made hers public. And so there's a lot of stuff. People have been using my avatar in kind of fun ways. I'm somewhat flattered by it. There's some stuff that I find offensive. For instance, Martin Luther King is frequently...
I have a dream that one day across this great nation, Chick-fil-A will be open on Sundays. No line too long, no crazy.
Now, I find that offensive, to be honest with you. But I guess the estate of Martin Luther King has not been consulted in the use of that video, or maybe that video is public domain now. I don't know. So what do you all think of this? This is really, in my mind, the launch of AI video.
I think there are two aspects to this. The first one is, as you've pointed out, the rights holder and the copyright issues, which are, just like with everything AI related, very difficult to figure out. And I think that OpenAI is smart enough. They have smart people. They realized when they launched this, they were like, this is going to be an S show. And the other thing is, of course, the fact that now between VO3 and a couple of others and this one, generative AI video has arrived. It's here. It's
no
good
question.
enough.
You cannot trust anything you see anymore. Right.
It's been the case for a while, but you browse Sora and everything looks somewhat believable. Everything.
It's still a little AI-y, but only if you really look closely, right? You have to really be looking for it. And
Kind
maybe
of
I'm
like
flattering
what,
myself that I can tell. Right?
It's not quite exactly right, but it's good enough. Just like images were, I guess, a year ago, a year and a half, 18 months. And so, that's the world we live in now. Things have arrived. It's I don't know if it's good or bad. Probably a bit of both and a lot of one, but it's here. Generative AI video is believable. So that is going to change things.
There's a group of people who I think are viscerally upset with AI generated content in general. It's really upsetting to them. Right. And those people, like it's a witch, burn it. They want a silver cross. They want a silver bullet. They want a stake through its heart, which I understand completely. But it feels to me, it's a, Georgia, you're a psychologist. It feels to me like a disgust reaction, like an involuntary reaction to AI.
Well, I think that it goes into that feeling of uncanny valley of what can you believe, of people having all of these different artists and people that are usually that would create things and their jobs and what are they going to do. It's such a quick shift. It's such a fast shift that our society hasn't really kind of, gotten to the place where they can understand it and feel really comfortable with it. And so I think that it also kind of deflates that feeling of trust and can you actually see what you want to see or just believe whatever you want to. I think that a lot of ways this will be the justification for I didn't do it. You can't believe it,
right?
What might be happening. And so I think that there's a lot of shifts of whenever a technology changes and our culture hasn't changed with it, a lot of people can have this adverse reaction. And for some of it, you can understand. And for some of it, it's just change is hard for people.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I think in France, I don't know if it's exactly the same in the US, but in France, it's very much the artists and creators and who are outraged, probably, at least partially rightfully so, and disillusioned and angry at big tech, which didn't ask for their consent in using all of that content to train their models. Whether or not they should have, I think, is morally and legally still to be determined, but the reaction is very much that. And it's a general well, there you go, big tech is screwing up everything again. It's burning the planet. Because obviously, people who post 100 videos, I have nothing against iJustine, but when you said, oh, she posts one every 10 minutes, I'm like, how many trees did that burn?
Well, that's the next question is how much is this costing OpenAI? And it's got to be
it's an significant fortune, surely.
Yeah.
I mean,
somebody was saying before the show began, I can't remember who it was. Was it you, Benito? That he'd heard it was $5 a video.
I've seen the same figure. Yeah,
that's mine because I got to tell you right now, there's thousands of videos a second being generated. I mean, they have a lot of VC, but so the other thing that Sam talked about in this post after saying, sorry, rights holders, is we're going to have to somehow make money for video generation.
Yeah.
People are generating much more than we expected per user. And a lot of videos are being generated for very small audiences. We're going to try sharing some of this revenue with rights holders who want their characters generated by users. So they're going to try to figure out, first of all, A, there's no ads in it. So there's going to be ads, right? And then B, they've got to figure out some sort of micropayment system for rights holders, hoping that, he says, our hope is this new kind of engagement is even more valuable than the revenue share. But of course, we want both to be valuable. I admire ChatGPT's gumption.
Well,
right?
The bank balance helps as well. I mean, there's kind of an Uber-like feel to this, where it's like we'll give it away free.
Yeah,
we'll build market share.
We'll lose money for decades.
We'll lose money for years because there's always more coming in, and then once people are hooked, then we start charging for it.
It's bold, is it not?
They can't. I don't think they can charge significantly for it, but they can develop some kind of business model.
I think there's going to be an
ad.
There's got to be an ad model.
Yeah, ads but even ads like how.
Go ahead.
Data maybe, but how much can they make with ads? I don't know, but it feels like big tech in general. It's not just Uber or whoever.
Get the users and then worry about revenue later. And sorry, Georgia. What were you saying?
And just all of the information that you're giving to them every single time, and all of that they can then use later for something else. I think
Right.
that, if you take a look at the privacy policies, like, they're really scary. Like, if you actually read them.
Well, I have given them my image, haven't I? Now,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
But then
Have you
I got
read-
out of that. I got
And
me
do
and
you have the
Justine
right to
bouncing on
be
a
forgotten,
trampoline together.
which is
so-
adorable, by the way. But do you have the right to be forgotten because you're not in the EU?
Yeah, I
is,
guess I don't. And by
honestly-
the way, this is not available in the EU, is it, Patrick?
Well, no, but I think, I'm not sure it's about anything legislation
The
related.
DMA or anything?
Yeah, DMA or DSA, maybe, but I don't think so. I think this is about controlling the
What about
amount
creatives?
of money they're burning.
I understand creatives are hurt that their stuff's being taken, but what about creatives using this to create? I mean, here's a picture, a sketch
interesting
of a
stuff
kitten
happening.
that comes alive. I mean, you could really you can make movies with this. I mean, it's fascinating. I mean, it's really powerful technology.
I think what we're seeing now is a lot of experimentation, which is just kind of hokey. But there is already interesting stuff being done with AI. I don't know if you go on TikTok or Instagram or these platforms a lot, but there's a lot of AI, not Slop, but AI videos like Moses live vlogging.
Oh yeah,
is,
Moses the influencer or Jesus
Yeah,
the
exactly.
influencer.
And
those are
or-
wild.
It is entertaining. It's fun. Like there are like aliens discussing their contempt for humanity in a podcast, like YouTube podcast format. Like it is cute, and I think it's going to be open a lot of possibilities. The question is, what is being not taken away, but I certainly don't subscribe to the idea that, this kills creativity. It takes the soul of creation away from humans. And, I think this is a little bit overblown. But a lot of those people who are so anti-AI, I don't think they're the people who are considering this for like the long term. People who are trying to negotiate rights and all of that, they know that you can't put the cat back into the bag. Right now it's here, and you have to deal with it, and you have to defend your ground as much as you can. But I don't think the people who are like, I've posted like once a 4-panel comic that I tried when ChatGPT released one of their updates, and I was like, I just prompted and it spit out this 4-panel comic. It was kind of okay. I got yelled at.
Yeah. Well, as I said, there are some people who are really viscerally offended by it. And I want to respect that point of view. I think that those are people who consider themselves humanists and consider this kind of machine-generated imagery to be offensive and deeply offensive.
There are so many issues. Like
there's the environmental issue.
Rights,
There's the
environmental
rights holders issues.
Yeah.
There's also the issue of slop itself. Here's a Fast Company article. We need to stop the slop of OpenAI's Sora and Meta Vibes AI video apps before it's too late. We risk drowning in a sea of vibes-based garbage.
Well, it's happening at work as well. I mean, I don't know if you saw the Stanford study on work slop.
Yes, work slop.
Yeah, exactly.
Incredible study.
It's just like the amount of stuff that you can. It's kind of like Microsoft in the days of word processing. It's good enough, but with this, it's you've got entire swathes of business material being created by AI. And the study found in particular that I found interesting was if you're on the receiving end of this, you trust the other person so much less and you dislike them more. So I think the long-term effects of that are going to be really interesting on corporate culture.
Yeah, I think we're seeing this happen. And the specifics of this, shoddy work has always existed. But this pushes
puts shoddy work in the hands of everyone.
Well, it pushes your workload because it looks good enough. It looks like it kind of makes sense. And the people who receive it have to work extra hard to figure out what the heck this is about. Sorry, I don't know how much we can, what the heck this is about. And they have to spend a lot more time, and they don't want to go back to the person who sent it, like asking, what did you want to say in this thing? Like, it's a really interesting study.
What are the Georgia? What are the psychological risks of this? Are there any? Does it loosen our grip on reality?
Well, it makes for us to be able to believe our own unconscious or conscious bias much more so. Because when you have a bias to whatever that might be, this makes it all is like truthiness. Like
It confirms what you believe.
So yeah, you can see a video and if you already are inclined to believe something, you can now dismiss whole swaths of arguments just by maybe this isn't true, or I've seen this video that did X, Y, and Z. And because of that, it blurs that line between what is real and what is fake so that we can just become even more in our own biases. And because of that, we can then kind of just stay inside of our bubbles. And what unfortunately happens is that we become even more extreme. The more that you're fed things, even if it's a lie you're just telling yourself, you hear it enough times, it becomes true to you. Even if it's boldface, even if it's our feeling for confirmation bias and cognitive dissonance can work together to make us even more ardent, even more fanatical into radical beliefs. And that, especially when they're, unfortunately, with social medias, they're all trying to vie for our attention. And we've already found out that one of the strongest emotions that can keep us on. So if we're happy, we go outside and we do other stuff. If we're upset or angry, we stay there and we try to shout into the void or feed off of it. And so they know that they can use that to actually keep us there. And so unfortunately, even though like any tool can be used for good and ill, social media companies are vying for our attention and want us to keep us there. And so it already inclines us to feed us into these really negative headspaces, which can cause a lot of anger, depression, and radicalized views, which can be really damaging.
Absolutely. I mean, it is remarkable in that we've moved in the space of 40 years from you got your information from like 5 or 6 television stations, maybe a dozen newspapers, the radio maybe, or just the local news. And now you can basically build an information bubble around yourself of just stuff that you want to read.
Yeah, that's scary. I mean, you could do that with social media in general already.
Yeah.
Now it's just a lot more content.
It's that we naturally do. Now, there's certain personality types, or if you're already media savvy or you're already like taught how to be able to filter through and question things and know what should be questioned. But for a lot of times, people are not given that already as a mindset. And so for that, for people that are already vulnerable populations or already angry and we're not good at processing information, we get spoon-fed kind of crap. We just believe crap.
Speaking of angry populations, there's now a whole industry of pundits, anti-AI pundits. Financial Times just had a profile of Ed Zitron. There's Gary Marcus. There are people who are making good livings decrying this and yelling at it and saying it's ruining, for a variety of reasons, all the reasons we just talked about. I do want to point out on the other side, this is pretty amazing stuff, right? Does this in a way kind of prove the concept that there is something happening in AI? It's not snake oil, right? I mean,
No,
it's
not.
It's amazing.
There's 100% a bubble because we don't know where the reality is going to settle on what these things can do and what they're good for. But the fact that there's a bubble doesn't mean it's pointless and useless. Like just on the technology side, what it can do is incredible. It's unbelievable that you can do these things with a computer. But the reason these valuations are going so high is that the promise is very, very lofty, and we don't know if we're going to get to AGI. I don't think that LLMs are going to get us there. But it doesn't matter. Even if everything stops today, even if progress stops today, there's still a lot of optimization that can be done. But what we can do with those things, with those tools, it's magic. It's unbelievable. So I agree, Leo, that it's a very complicated technology, as most of those impactful technologies are, and there's a lot of negative stuff about it. I don't want to discount that. But yeah, on the technology side, there's no doubt it's going to be useful to something. To what extent is the big question. And no one knows that. No one knows yet. So it's difficult to ascertain how good or how useful it's going to be.
There's a clip from Friday of Jeff Bezos at the Italian technology summit that I thought was really good. I don't know. I probably shouldn't play it, but I will summarize it for you. He says there's two kinds of bubbles that we've seen in the past. There's industrial bubbles and there's financial bubbles. We have many examples of industrial bubbles, the dot-com bust of 2000, or going back even farther, the bubble around railroads in the United States. Most of the early railroad companies went bankrupt.
Same in the UK. Yeah.
Yeah, but in both those cases of an industrial bubble, what you got was infrastructure. You got fiber in the case of the dot-com failure. You got the transcontinental railroad in the United States as a result of the railway bubble. And so there is a benefit in the long run to these financial bubbles. He said, yes, or these industrial bubbles. He said, yes, indeed, many of these companies will fail. They are not viable, but we will get some benefit out of it. He contrasts that to a financial bubble like the 2008 financial crash in the United States, which nobody benefits from. It is a bubble that people get sucked into and then lose fortunes on. And I think that that's kind of reassuring. I don't know if I still think Jeff Bezos is a smart guy, but a very good monopolist, but a smart guy. But I think that that's a kind of a good description of what's happening. This is from.
I spoke to an entrepreneur about this, and we both agreed there is a bubble. It's going to pop at some point.
It's not necessarily a bad thing as well.
Well, he made the interesting point, which was if you go back to the dot-com bust, for example, yes, a lot of people, a lot of companies went down, a lot of money got lost initially, but within 5 to 6 years, the industry had grown way past anything that had actually lost in the crash.
And now you can sell kitty litter online. Right? So
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's very clear that this is not the kind of bubble that a lot of people think of when they think bubble, which is like tulips and NFTs.
Right.
It's a lot of people go back to the dot-com bubble, but it's like that gave us the internet, people.
Right.
It wasn't that bad. Okay.
Yeah. All right. I want to take a break. I'm not going to make this an all AI show. I just wanted to talk a little bit about that because it's taken the world by storm right now.
Wait till you tell them that we're actually all AI.
All of this was fake. And now I'm going to take you to the real panel.
We're just
Georgia,
puppets.
I don't know. Is this available in Canada, Georgia? I don't know if it is.
I'm not really sure.
Would you be tempted? I think it'd be great. I would love to have it.
I would love to have fun with it. Like the thing is that I would really enjoy getting to see what I could do with it and what I could create and that really cool, eerie feeling. Like I'm all into testing it out, but then it's like I would definitely not be wanting to put out my image for anyone to be able to have or use. But then again,
just remember, plausible deniability.
I know. When I start my life of crime, I'll be switching that.
There's so much video. There's hundreds of thousands of hours of video of me, and there's quite a few hours of videos of you out there already.
I know.
Which can easily be manipulated.
I know.
Better to
I've already done
it.
that. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just jump into the storm is what you're saying.
Yes. Of course, I'm old at the end of my career, so I can afford to say that. You're young and still have a long way to go. Let's take a little break. We'll come back with more. Georgia Dow is here. It's wonderful to have all three of you. Ian Thompson, Patrick Beja. We're getting a little bit of an international perspective on the news this week. You might be amazed at the Italian company that's about to buy AOL. We'll talk about that in just a little bit.
Oh, bless.
But first, a word from our sponsor, ZipRecruiter. We love ZipRecruiter. We use ZipRecruiter for hiring. The holidays are just around the corner. I guess if you include Halloween, they're right here, right? Businesses are hiring for seasonal roles. Yeah, this is when seasonal hiring starts. Everything from haunted corn maze workers and Thanksgiving caterers to lead elves and real bearded Santas to snowplow drivers. And I know in Montreal, you need those snowplow drivers. This means that people with certain skills, certain experience, maybe even a special license are in high demand, which also means they're not easy to find. So whether you're hiring for one of those roles or any other role, the best way to find the perfect match for your role is on ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter. And right now you can try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/twit. ZipRecruiter's matching technology works fast to find top talent so you don't waste time or money. You can find out right away how many job seekers in your area are qualified for your role. With ZipRecruiter's advanced resume database, you can instantly unlock top candidates' contact info. No wonder ZipRecruiter is the #1 rated hiring site based on G2. Let ZipRecruiter find the right people for your roles, seasonal or otherwise. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/twit. Again, that's ziprecruiter.com/twit. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Back to the show we go. I was a little stunned. This is a Reuters exclusive. You ever hear of bending spoons?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're an Italian unicorn that has bought a lot of stuff. Apparently, according to Reuters, they're in advanced talks to buy AOL. The AOL's I know. Get this, for $1.4 billion.
It's just mad. I mean, AOL just shut down their dial-in service. So I don't know quite exactly what they're expecting to get from this.
So AOL's been through a lot, right? They were bought by Yahoo, which was then bought by Verizon, which then sold 90% of it to Apollo Ventures, which is a private equity fund. And of course, the first thing a private equity fund does is strip away all the value and then hope to sell it on because they incur a lot of debt to buy this. I didn't realize this, but according to Reuters, AOL owns a lot of other companies like McAfee and LastPass and others. And I think that's because maybe Apollo, which owned those, bundled them into this thing. Bending Spoons is known for developing apps. Just shows you how valuable it is. No comment from Bending Spoons or Apollo. Reuters says we have 4 different sources who are saying this is going on. I just find this amazing. I had never heard of Bending Spoons until they acquired, what was it? It was something I used. And I went, they just got sold to who? It's a very strange name. I don't know if it's based on Uri Geller or what. They have Evernote. They have Meetup. They have StreamYard. And 300 million active users. But apparently, if they get AOL, they'll get hundreds, millions more. Many people still use AOL.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the private equity play, which is basically you've got a corporate body made up of lots of different parts, and over time you can spin out the most profitable ones and sell them off and get your money back that way. But an over $1 billion valuation seems incredibly high.
$1.4 billion. Yeah, well, all right. I guess there's still users out there for AOL. I saw, when I was researching this, I did see one article that said AOL use has jumped in the 25 to 54 age group. I thought it was all old people like me. What 25-year-old is using AOL?
Wait, what happens if you go to AOL.com? Like, what is it nowadays?
It's like a news site, right? It's like see, here it is. This is AOL.com. Mm-hmm. So, these legacy sites often have just a lot of people still visiting them. Yahoo still has billions of monthly active users, I believe.
Brand recognition, data, like what can they get?
I think force of habit primarily. I mean, it's just like that's where I've always gone. Therefore, it's where I'm always going to go.
That's what it is. Yeah, but that's why it surprises me that young people are turning to AOL. Like, maybe it's a nostalgia thing. I don't know. Or maybe they want to play Kino Safari. I don't know what it is.
Maybe they want to understand what that film You've Got Mail was all about.
You've Got Mail. Yeah, that's right. Talk about a film that does not age well.
No.
Nobody will know what that means. Maybe they will. Maybe Bending Spoons will bring it back. All right. Well, I thought that was...
It's aged about as well as Axl Rose, but yes.
Oh, my God. He has not aged well at all.
No.
I would be remiss if I did not mention... Oh, let me do this before I do that. 1 out of 5 Americans now gets their news from TikTok. TikTok, as you know, is about to be I don't know how should we say this, bifurcated. Because there will be a new AOL, or rather TikTok America app. Oracle and a bunch of venture partners will be primary owners of TikTok.
Is it confirmed?
Well, okay, that's a good question.
Sort of
Our president said it was.
Yeah, well, he says a lot of things.
That's a really good question. China has not confirmed it, no.
Biden has said nothing. Xi Jinping or one of his underlings have said nothing. You think it might not be? Larry Ellison will be the big winner, the founder of Oracle, and his son, David Ellison, who's going to acquire, basically the right to propagandize young people. I don't know. It makes me very nervous.
Well, I mean, I've seen reports that, in fact, they get the right for editorial control, but who gets the money? That's the important thing. Is it ByteDance originally still gets to keep most of the cash?
Yes, as a matter of fact, yeah. So that's a little strange. Here's the press release from the White House: saving TikTok while protecting national security. But again, we have no confirmation of what the deal structure looks like. We were told that the ByteDance will license the algorithm to the U.S. partners, which is odd.
Well, no, I mean, I think that could make sense. Honestly, to me, the only concern here is that if it had happened under any other administration, it would be, okay, fine, whatever. The concern, one of the concerns, was how the Chinese government could direct the algorithm to influence the. So
now it'll be our government directing the algorithm, right?
Right, that's the problem. That's
bring it home, baby. Bring it home.
It's everything you were worried about if the Chinese government had influence on the algorithm is now, and I'm sure some people would say, oh, well, it would be the same with any government, but it wouldn't. And maybe we can talk about this.
Yeah. Well, I'm a little concerned because Ellison's son, David Ellison, has already acquired Paramount, which means CNN. Right? They're about, and CBS. By the way, they're also buying Barry Weiss's journal, and she's going to be the editor-in-chief of CBS. She definitely has a right-leaning bias. They're about to buy, or apparently interested in buying, Warner Discovery, which would then, basically, they would have access to almost all the news delivery in the United States. A huge amount of it.
They have, they're linked to Skydance, they're linked to Annapurna. Like Larry Ellison, I think The Verge wrote an article on this. He's he's getting into a lot of media. Yeah. And when you see I didn't worry so much when Jeff Bezos bought the Washington Post. I think
maybe you should have, because he seems to have slanted it considerably.
Yeah, but it was so, you could worry about it and think, okay, maybe some things will happen, maybe some things. I think now the model is what Elon Musk did with X, kind of.
Right.
And it's not even subtle. It's it's the Donald Trump model. And
it feels right out of Succession. They're building a media empire. Larry Ellison's 81, but his son David is young, runs Skydance. It feels like so they're going to have control of TikTok, control of CBS, control of Paramount.
They have control of Facebook. They have control of apparently YouTube.
If there were an interest in, and I imagine there is, using those platforms to influence American opinion, they would have an incredibly powerful tool.
Well, the FTC has already said this week that they're thinking about relaxing the rules on media ownership.
Right.
Now we've already got, 4 or 5 companies controlling about 90% of the media in the US.
Yeah.
and that could shrink down even further. And then, as you point out, that opens a real possibility of just like, okay, we've got all the media channels, we can say what we want.
It's going to be it's going to be
Public
interesting.
opinion, which works really effectively, especially if you find someone to scapegoat or something to make you angry about or something that makes people feel frightened. The fastest way that people will give up their rights, their feelings of fighting, is if they feel like there is a greater threat.
If they're scared. Yeah.
Yeah. It works effectively. It has a very strong lasting power. And then everyone kind of settles into the new norm of what they're around. And we often want to be on the large majority of the team of whatever is the sway of public. It's just kind of that us and them psychology of we don't want to be in the smaller pool or the losing pool. And so then people will slowly, even those that might be a very differing opinion, their opinion will slowly sway. And so it can actually change the entire zeitgeist of a culture. And it really only takes like a generation and a bit to be able to do that.
Yeah. Well, just be aware. It's something that seems to be going on right now. It is why I make my pitch every show we do for independent media that is not controlled either by the federal government through the FCC or by big corporations. Thank goodness we have a pretty vibrant culture of independent media through podcasting and YouTube. That may be our saving grace. Maybe not. I don't know.
I'm always reminded of my history teacher at school who taught me something very important, which has been part of my journalism career ever since. When you read or see or listen to anything, think about who is saying it, why they're saying it, and who paid for them to say it. Yeah. And those three in conjunction can be a very good guide to how seriously you should take something.
Yeah.
Which is lovely if that was taught in schools today, but it isn't. We're not taught. We're more and more taught to just follow and do and be obedient. Like the entire school system is made to enforce compliance more than free thinkers. If you're lucky if you're in a school system that teaches you to think freely, to be able to be rebellious, to be able to say no. But often sitting in a classroom for 8 hours listening to someone prattle on, depending on what they can say and what they can't say, that's now also being legislated, unfortunately often does the opposite.
Yeah.
Sorry, am I just the downer? I think that I'm
no. You're
podcast here. I'm sorry.
No, you're not. You're not. If you could turn your mic up a little bit, though,
sure,
you're a little bit low for us. So they're complaining. Pappy Cappy can't hear. I can't hear you. He says, "Hey, Georgia." So we're gonna take a little break. I do want to talk about Apple removing some apps. Google did the same at the behest of the federal government, which wasn't this a big deal when the Biden administration apparently asked, actually they denied that they asked, but were accused of asked of taking down tweets. This seems like the same thing in the other direction. Anyway, we'll talk about that in just a little bit. Apple capitulating once again, if you ask me, but we'll ask you. That's what matters. We're also going to talk. Oh, I meant to talk about the TikTok deal. Well, we'll get to that. Apparently, it was J.D. Vance's doing, and a federal agency that is not running under the shutdown that could be bad news for all of us. All of that coming up in just a little bit. You're watching This Week in Tech with Georgia Dow, who's not a downer, who cheers us up. You cheer us up, but you speak truth, and that's important. Ian Thompson, who is, of course, the king of snark from the Register, which is the record of snark, I believe.
And fully independent media as well.
Yeah, exactly. So you're not owned by any private equity company or anything like that?
No, we're still owned by the founders.
That's kind of amazing. I mean, I think you're one of the few.
I'm 25 years old and we're not selling out yet.
Good. Don't sell out. Don't sell out. And Patrick Beja, always a pleasure to have him. Notpatrick.com. He runs a few independent podcasts himself.
I do.
What is the political climate in France like these days? A few years ago, we were talking about the yellow vests, right? That everybody was pulling out of their car.
Yeah. Well, so in a nutshell, it's too long to describe. But I will tell
My friend
you that-
Sarkozy went to jail. I was so disappointed.
Exactly.
The only French president I've ever met.
Did you meet him? Okay.
Yeah. Loic Lemur introduced us to him. We were at the Élysée Palace and met Mr.
amazing.
Sarkozy. He's only yay high, but I had no idea that he would have a future in prison.
He was judged and condemned. He should do hard time in jail.
Wow.
He's a bit old, so maybe he won't go. For basically not embezzling. How's it called? He got money from Gaddafi to run his campaign. Apparently,
what?
That's what he's been judged
guilty
of. Yes, it's pretty crazy. But the crazier thing, you're talking about media, like. I actually voted for the guy back in the day. And regardless of your political opinions, the thing that is crazy is how much the media and his political camp is shooting the justice system in the head and journalists like decredibilizing everyone because they don't want him to go to jail, and they're like saying that he didn't do it, that the judges are corrupt, and they're destroying the credibility of the justice system and the journalists profession in this scandal, which is, I thought, like, they're the right wing who are supposed to be law and order. This is the law. This is what happened. You trust in the justice system. That's what you're supposed to do. Anyway, sorry, I don't.
I'm glad it's not just us.
French.
That's all I'm saying. I was going
to say, it did make me think about the current situation over here.
Wanted to make sure we weren't alone in all of this.
It's not as bad, obviously, but my biggest concern is how traditional media is. How it's turning out to be now. It's owned in large part by a very wealthy person who is turning everything into controversial right-wing issues. Everything. And I didn't
Money
think
ruins
it was going to happen here.
Doesn't it? Money just ruins everything, I swear.
Well, it's happened in the UK as well, unfortunately, with Brexit. And my apologies, Patrick. It was, if I could have voted, I would have voted against it. But, it's one of those things.
It has not worked out that well, I think.
No, not at all.
Yeah. All right, well, we've got two folks from the Commonwealth, one from the EU, and I'm just sitting here trying to figure out who I belong to. So,
oh, you rebellious colonial.
I'm a colonial. I am. We're going to take a break, come back with more. You're watching This Week in Tech. Our show today brought to you by the Thinkst Canary. Love this thing. Thinkst Canaries are, in a word, honeypots that can be deployed in minutes. Now, normally, creating a honeypot is a real chore. In fact, I remember talking to Bill Cheswick, who wrote the very first honeypot, and he said how difficult and tricky it is, and nobody should do this. Well, you don't have to anymore. It's an appliance that can impersonate almost anything. Now, mine's a Synology NAS. Some days it's a Windows server. I think the last thing I turned it into, and it's so easy, there's just a drop-down box, was a SharePoint server from 2009, which seems like something the bad guy might look at and go, that looks interesting. I might want to play with that. But here's the thing. It's not really that. It impersonates it. It's a perfect honeypot. It has it even down to the MAC address. It's got a Microsoft MAC address. It's got the exact login. Everything looks real to the bad guy. But here's the thing. The minute the bad guy accesses your Thinkst Canary honeypot, attempts to, let's say, brute force your fake internal SSH server, you're going to get an alert. Your Thinkst Canary will tell you you've got a problem. There's somebody inside the network. No false alerts, just the alerts that matter. You can also use your Thinkst Canary to create lure files that you could put anywhere, even in the cloud. I have some, looks like password vaults and firewall configurations sitting on my Google Drive. Those are also very tempting to bad guys. And again, the minute they hit it, I'm going to know. And you can get the alert any way you want. Email, text, Slack. It supports webhooks, syslog, of course, SMS, whatever you want, or all of the above. So you just choose a profile for your Thinkst Canary device. You register it with a hosted console for monitoring and notifications. And then you just sit back and relax. Attackers who've breached your network or malicious insiders, any adversary who's inside the network cannot help but make themselves known by accessing your Thinkst Canary. Visit canary.tools/twit. I'll give you an example. If you're a big bank, you might have hundreds of them. You want to put them on every network segment in all of the nooks and crannies. If you're a small operation like ours, 5's plenty. Go to canary.tools/twit. For just $7,500 a year, you're going to get 5 Thinks Canaries. You also get your own hosted console. You get upgrades, support, and maintenance. And if you use the code TWIT in the How Did You Hear About Us box, you're also going to get 10% off the price. And not just for the first year, but for life, for as long as you have Thinks Canaries. Oh, and here's another good thing. You can always return your Thinks Canary. They've got a 2-month, 60-day money-back guarantee for a full refund. I should mention that we've been talking about Thinks Canaries for nearly a decade now. And in all that time, that refund guarantee has never been claimed. Because once you have one of these, you're going to say, I don't know how I lived without it. Visit canary.tools/twit. Enter the code TWIT in the How Did You Hear About Us box. 10% off and that 60-day money-back guarantee at canary.tools/twit. The offer code is TWIT. Back we come to the tech news. YouTube bends the knee. Charlie Wartzel writing in The Atlantic. Welcome to the era of big tech capitulation. Google paid the Trump administration $24.5 million to settle a lawsuit. Trump brought the lawsuit after they suspended his channel after the January 6th riot at the Capitol. YouTube said at the time it was, quote, concerned about the ongoing potential for violence. They did reinstate the account in March of 2023, but they settled $24.5 million. $22 million goes to the Trust for the National Mall. That is the nonprofit group raising money to finance an addition to the White House. I don't know. Is that the ballroom or something else?
That's the ballroom, yeah.
Yeah.
Tackiest
Nice
thing I've ever seen. Well,
Do you get a plaque or something? The Atlantic says most creators are lucky if they get a gold plaque from YouTube. Trump's getting a new ballroom. And it's just everybody in Silicon Valley. And I don't know if they're getting the deal they think they are, because it seems to be, as soon as you give him some money, he wants more. Meta and X settled similar lawsuits, paying $25 and $10 million respectively. Trump and associates have been paid now $59.5 million for these private companies enforcing their own rules. Amazon apparently gave Melania Trump $40 million for a documentary that nobody's going to watch.
Say, I mean, really, what is it going to be? Hi, I swung around in a big hat. I mean, when she went over to the UK, all we saw was the hat.
The hat, spy versus spy hat. And then, of course, all the tech CEOs who donated $1 million to the inaugural fund. YouTube can afford it. It's not a question of whether they can afford it, but it's capitulation. But here's real capitulation. Apple has agreed to remove at least one, maybe more apps, ICE tracking apps, after pressure from the Department of Justice. The DOJ, and by the way, Google's done the same thing, saying they're protecting vulnerable communities. ICE? Really? Okay. Pam Bondi said, we reached out to Apple today demanding they remove the ICEBlock app from their app store, and Apple did so. ICEBlock, as you know, did a kind of mediocre job. The idea was you would contribute, if you saw ICE in action, you would contribute that information to a social network so other people could avoid it. Bondi said it's designed to put ICE agents at risk for doing their jobs. I guess, does it put law enforcement at risk? ICEBlock's owner told 404 Media, we're determined to fight this. Is this capitulating to an authoritarian regime or protecting law enforcement?
Well, I mean, this is very much, what Apple does. I mean, it was hilarious when they started advertising themselves in the US as the privacy-focused phone company, because try that in China. They roll over the Chinese government whenever they want. Same thing in Russia. Try to get a VPN app on the App Store. They've deleted tens of dozens of them. So, I mean, Apple does what's best for Apple. They always have, and I suspect they always will.
They are, I guess, obligated to follow the laws of countries they operate in, but this is not against the law. This is a request from the Department of Justice. I'm a I'm honestly a little disappointed in Google and Apple capitulating on this one.
I think there's an argument to be made that they're justified in removing it. I think it's an accumulation of so many things that makes it very clear that Apple and all of the big tech are, I'll try to be measured. They are fighting the demands of the government a lot less than one might have expected.
Yeah.
And given the nature of that government, I think it is concerning. You're talking about China, Ian, and that is. But I don't know. Have you guys read Apple in China?
Yeah, wonderful book. Really
No, I
good.
haven't. That sounds worth a read.
Oh,
It
it's
is
very, very good.
incredible, really good.
It talks about how Apple, in a sense, was manipulated by the Chinese government to transfer so much technology to China that they are now, in fact, unable to leave China.
And paid for training and
They sent
research
billions of dollars to China and lots of experts. Yeah.
And it's really anyway, the book is really good, but I mean, things changed when Xi Jinping arrived, and China really did take a turn. Before that, you could argue, this is the usual playbook, like you pour money into a country and open commerce, and then they turn to democracy. And then Xi Jinping arrived, and then things didn't happen that way. But yeah, China is capitulating to, Apple is capitulating to China. You can argue they do it in every country. Like, they respect the law. They do it in Europe, actually. They've protested a lot more about Europeans trying to enforce their vision of the internet than they have for all of the other ones, China, Russia, and the US. And the fact, even though I'm not saying the US is like China or Russia, the fact that they are kind of in the same neighborhood in the conversation, and the fact that those big companies are not saying anything, they're going along, like they're not even saying, actually, we're not sure about this. And it is, bending the knee at every level. Like the COVID influencers being allowed back on YouTube, for example, was another example of it.
Yeah.
And again, the argument could be made that, it's been 5 years and you don't ban them forever. But the letter they sent with this decision, putting it all on the Biden administration, saying, oh, they forced us to do it. We really didn't want to. We thought it was freedom anyway, we don't want to litigate that part. But all of these things put together paint a picture that people won't look favorably on in, 20 years or 30 years.
Apple is fighting for us in the UK.
Yeah, okay, bring up my government. Right.
As you know, the UK government was demanding that Apple create a backdoor into its advanced data protection, which is end-to-end encrypted. Apple's response was to withdraw ADP from the UK. Apparently, it's not over. The UK Home Office is now asking that Apple create a backdoor into users' cloud storage service, but stipulated that that applies only to British citizens this time. Last time it was to all people who used Apple products. So this was...
Yes, you can think of it as a Brexit bonus, if you like. It's like they wouldn't try this with the EU, but Brits are, they can stomp down on those. It's yet another. For some reason, the UK government, well, for obvious reasons, the UK government really, really wants a backdoor and end-to-end encryption, and they are going to carry it. They are pushing and pushing. They have done since the 1990s, even though the intelligence services are telling them it's not the best of ideas, because if you create a backdoor, someone else can find it as well.
Yeah. Apple said on Wednesday, this is from the Financial Times, Apple is still unable to offer advanced data protection in the United Kingdom to new users. We're gravely disappointed that the protections provided by ADP are not available to our customers in the UK, given the continuing rise of data breaches and other threats to customer privacy. As we've said many times before, we will have never built a backdoor or master key to any of our products or services, and we never will. The Home Office says we do not comment on operational matters.
It's just so pointless. I mean, you can already get companies like Celebrite who, for a commercial service to law enforcement, will break people's phones open and get the data anyway.
Right.
So you don't need to make treat everyone, tar everyone with the same brush, when you can actually do this in perfectly legitimate ways, but it's just a teensy bit harder.
Now, we should point out that only ADP, this advanced data protection, is end-to-end encrypted. If you store something in Apple's cloud, Apple has the key to iCloud. And Apple has given that key to law enforcement when asked by a subpoena. It's happened in the United States, we know. And I presume it would happen in England, too. So I guess the Home Office is asking for more than just that. They're asking for a backdoor and advanced data protection.
Exactly. I mean, it's the same with any kind of service. Proton, which is, one of the gold standards of secure email, will hand over data to the police if there's a good and judicially approved reason. With this, it just seems like massive overreach. I mean, we've seen this with the Ripper powers 20 years ago. At one point they were offering to allow parish councillors, which are elected by about 400 or 500 people in a small town, access to anyone's internet traffic history. It was, it's a question of, it's a constant battle, and you've got to keep fighting to try and get something suitable through.
The Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, tweeted that in August that the UK had agreed to drop its demand. And partly because she said we have treaties with the UK that they won't spy on our citizens and we won't spy on theirs. So I think this new request is to satisfy that. Oh, we don't want American information. We just want British citizens' information. Yeah,
but it's then it's how many steps down the line do you go? Because yes, you can backdoor someone's phone, as you've got with the Patriot Act over here. You can surveil someone, and you can surveil the last 2 or 3 people that they actually spoke to.
Yeah,
that becomes international and very, very quickly.
Right. So just be aware, it's back on the table. And yeah, even if it's only UK citizens, if I'm talking to, you're still technically a UK citizen. If I'm talking to you and they crack it, they're going to get my end of the conversation too, right?
Oh yes, and I'm a UK citizen for life. You can't give it up. What if you're born in the territory?
You can't, huh? All right. Nope. Okay. Well, I wouldn't rush to do so anyway. We talked about funding. The federal government, of course, is shut down. And if you're going to a national park, I'm sorry. I was going on vacation this week, and I'm glad I decided not to. However, you might be interested to know that the Cybersecurity Information Sharing Act, signed into law in 2015, which allowed organizations to share cyber intelligence with the federal government and each other, is also shut down during the lapse. Without it, according to Politico, the private sector is less likely to swap vital information for being exposed to legal risks. They're no longer protected. Senator Gary Peters, who's a ranking member of the Homeland Security Committee, said, we're without this critical line of defense. Every hour we delay, it needs to be reauthorized. I guess that's it. And of course, Congress is not sitting right now. Every hour we delay is an open invitation to cyber criminals and hostile actors to attack our economy and critical infrastructure. Now, fortunately, they do not listen to this show, so I can talk about this. Maybe I shouldn't be talking about this at all.
Well, as we saw with the kerfuffle over the CVE and MITRE rankings, I mean, it does seem like this is way down on the administration's priority list.
Well, they've also fired a lot of people from CISA, so
yeah.
I feel like we're more vulnerable.
That was really noticeable at Black Hat and DEF CON this year.
Was it?
I was talking to a lot of the CISA people, and they're like, look, there's still a lot of really dedicated, skilled people there. But at the same time, they've also lost a lot of the older generation who have either been laid off or just decided, I'm just going to retire. I'm too tired for all this. And we're losing some definite skills. It's deeply concerning.
We are 6 days off from the vote on, what is it, the chat? What is it they call it? The
Chat control.
chat control. I want to ask you about that when we come back. All right, we're going to take a little break. Another fine law out of the our mother nation, the UK. We'll talk about chat.
No, this is an EU.
No,
one,
this
don't
is
worry.
EU.
EU, that's right.
Yeah.
It's EU. All right.
Yep. No, we're not
Patrick,
guilty
you
on
can
that
address
one.
this then. All right. That's right. I forgot. This is an EU proposal. All right. We will talk about that in just a little bit. You're watching This Week in Tech. Georgia Dow is here. So nice to see you. Also, Ian Thompson from the Register. And our good friend Patrick Beja, notpatrick.com. You don't work in the game industry anymore.
No, I cover the game industry with my
That's good.
podcasts, but
Yeah.
no, I don't work.
Did you bring the English language ones back yet?
The Phileas Club is back, actually,
good.
with a new format where we get letters from different people around the world every show, and they address the letters to Phileas, and they tell Phileas about what's been happening in their countries.
I love that idea. Do you use AI to write those letters?
I use meet people and their microphones who very kindly
actually ask them.
contribute.
Very nice. Very nice. Is that also at it's linked at notpatrick.com?
Yeah, notpatrick.com will get you everything, my socials and my shows. And,
It's currently down for maintenance, it says. Is that true?
what? No, it isn't. What?
Oh, there
No,
it
it's
is.
there.
It was
No,
just
no,
temporary.
it's there.
Okay, good. All right.
So it's a wonderful feat of engineering, of web engineering. If you go to the little arrow, see, you have for each show, because when you do a podcast, when you do multiple podcasts, how do you link people to all
isn't
of
that
the?
nice?
Isn't it?
Oh, we
you
should
can open
steal
it
that.
and get more.
Patrick,
So you
look
have
at
the
this.
main
Steal
links.
this. Yes.
Kevin,
Oh, I like it.
the web developer who did it is a
A little bit of
genius.
Ajax or CSS or something going on there. That's nice.
Yeah,
I love
there's
it.
other bits. Yep.
We will be back in just a moment. Our show today brought to you by Zscaler, the world's largest cloud security platform. I didn't know that. The potential rewards of AI are obviously too great to ignore, but so are the risks. Loss of sensitive data, attacks against enterprise managed AI. Generative AI is increasing opportunities for your business, but also for threat actors. It helps them rapidly create phishing lures, write malicious code, automate data extraction. There were 1.3 million instances of social security numbers leaked through AI applications. ChatGPT and Microsoft Copilot saw nearly 3.2 million data violations. And it's all inadvertent, right? But maybe it's time to rethink your organization's safe use of public and private AI. Jeff Simon is a senior vice president and chief security officer at T-Mobile. He said, quote, Zscaler's fundamental difference in the technologies and SaaS space is that it was built from the ground up to be a zero trust network access solution, which was the main outcome we were looking to drive. With Zscaler Zero Trust plus AI, you can safely adopt Gen AI and private AI to boost productivity across the business. Their Zero Trust architecture plus AI helps you reduce the risks of AI-related data loss and protects against AI attacks to guarantee greater productivity and compliance. Find out more at zscaler.com/security. That's zscaler.com/security. We thank them so much for supporting This Week in Tech. You asked about who gets the money from the TikTok advertising. And according to the information, I have to sign in. I have a new browser. It doesn't know who I am yet. Let me just sign in real quickly. The bulk of the money goes back to China. ByteDance control over the commercial operations of TikTok's U.S. business. It continues. In fact, it's
not about money.
It's not about the money.
It's control.
It's about the propaganda. It could, according to the information, could raise questions about whether the deal is compliant with the federal law that was passed and widely ignored last year that requires ByteDance to divest from TikTok. In other words, there are still operational ties. And in particular, the they'll maintain operations of the advertising and e-commerce in China, which doesn't satisfy some members of Congress who voted to force the sale or ban TikTok. You asked about that. I thought I'd throw that in.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's about control at the end of the day. It's you have control over the strategy of TikTok in the US, and the money, well, China can keep that. There's plenty of it floating around.
So let's talk about chat control. And I don't really understand the ins and outs of EU legislation. So maybe that's the first place. Chat control, is this a bill, a law?
It's EU legislation, which would require client-side scanning of devices. So basically, before you send an end-to-end encrypted message, your message gets scanned to make sure it doesn't have abusive material on it. And I apologize for the cat sounds in the background, but I've just been jumped on. But yeah, I mean, it's been talked about since 2022. I think the Swedish, because countries have rotating presidencies of the Union, it's up to them what they bring up, and the Danish government has done it this time. And if they get, I think
Denmark supports it. Austria opposes it. Belgium's undecided. Bulgaria supports it. Croatia, Cyprus supports it. Czech Republic opposes. It's not unanimous. Estonia and Finland oppose it. France supports it. Germany goes, I don't know. Greece goes, Hungary and Ireland support. So,
I mean, Germany's the big player in this, because if Germany gets up behind it, it's probably going to get through, because
they have 21 members of the European Parliament.
Yeah, it's based on population.
Or I'm sorry, not 21. That's Greece. They have, holy cow, 98 members of the European Parliament and 624 MPs.
Yeah.
So that's a big block.
Well, it has been a fascinating third act twist that Germany is increasingly the haven of democracy and freedom of speech in Europe. But I don't know, Patrick. I suspect we might disagree on this on this based on our earlier conversations. But personally, I don't know. It's having software on your device which scans your messages, I feel very uncomfortable with.
So just to be clear, this is what Apple wanted to do, I believe, the same kind of infrastructure. It's not, well, it's scanning in the sense that when you send pictures, I believe it's only pictures, correct me if I'm wrong.
It says private messages as well.
Right. But it hashes them and compares them to a database of existing.
This is what Apple was proposing. This comparison of hashes, not actual images.
That is what I think they're proposing. The Fight Chat Control site says including messages and photos, which I've been a little bit I've been bitten, so I'm shy about these kinds of sites with their kind of fudging the exact nature of the proposed legislation. If it's just scanning, hashing and scanning against, and comparing to an existing database for child porn, essentially, I think it's defendable. The issue is not about the process, because the process itself is, I think, safe. The issue is once the system is in place, then the government can say, well, child porn is all good, but how about these photos that we don't like some other types of,
Apple was going to use a database of photos from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, which is considered kind of nonpartisan and reliable in that respect. I'm not sure where the EU would get the hashes from.
I'm guessing this a similar thing.
Yeah.
But so that's the issue. The issue is not that the proposal itself is cataclysmic. The issue is once you open that door, then anything goes, kind of. The next government could decide, this is the kind of, controversial topic we don't like, and we want you to scan it and send us the notice once you find it on someone's phone or sending it to someone. So I understand the concern, but I don't think it's in its proposed implementation as bad as some people make it sound.
It's that it makes it, we get more and more comfortable with an encroachment of government onto our private devices and what is privacy for that. And I think that very similar to what you were saying, Patrick, is that once we get comfortable with a certain amount of our privacy being sold away for a good cause, it makes us also much more complacent to say yes to one other good cause, and we get more and more comfortable with giving up our rights for a greater good. And unfortunately, governments don't ever want to give up power, and so it's always going to be one more piece that they're stepping one little tiny bit closer. And if you look at it in each step, it seems very, very small, but slowly in the aggregate, it can become really large until we don't have any feelings of privacy. And so I think it's also that change of the entire way that a culture feels about what is private and what isn't, and that comfort level of having something on your phone that is taking a look at, even if it's just in a hash, to be able to see what is there and how far that might go.
So this is from the Electronic Frontier Foundation. I don't know if you trust them a little bit more, Patrick.
I trust them, yes.
Than the advocacy site. Their headline is "Chat control is back on the menu in the EU. It still must be stopped." Chat control they write, is a dangerous legislative proposal that would make it mandatory for service providers, including end-to-end encrypted communication and storage services like Signal, to scan all communications and files to detect abusive material. This would happen through a method called client-side scanning. That's what you said, which scans for specific content on a device before it's sent. I mean, the fact it's not just images, it sounds like, in other words. It is also the text. In a memo, the Danish presidency claimed this does not break end-to-end encryption. EFF says that's absurd. Yeah. Part of the issue is these phones are a kind of a new beast for all of us. There is so much of us and the information about us stored in these devices that I think they're of a greater concern than, breaking into your house and looking through your file cabinet or your desk, right?
I mean, the irony is that we pay $1,000 a piece for these things as well. Yeah. I mean,
to steal all of our information.
The funny part is that actually the phone is there's more information about me on my phone than there is in my own mind. Like the amount of stuff that I've forgotten in comparison to how much my phone has remembered, it's completely different. And so having access to that would be, it is like Minority Report, but like on supercharge.
Meredith Whittaker, the CEO of Signal, says it will pull out of the EU if chat control is passed. Instead of complying with the law, they would stop offering Signal, just as Apple has stopped offering ADP in the UK.
It's a significant threat, I think, because Signal is the one app that you can trust.
Absolutely.
I don't want to play too much devil's advocate on this, but I do feel like there is a form of absolutism in the defense of privacy that can be a bit counterproductive, because if you go down, if your argument is we can give nothing and nothing can be done, then you say no to some things that might be reasonable as well. Like this version, yes, it might scan for text, but this version, the problem is in what you ask it to scan, right?
Who is deciding that?
Yes, exactly. Let's say, for the sake of argument, let's say we can guarantee that forever. I understand that's not how it works, but we can guarantee that forever the only thing that it will scan for would be, CSAM.
Right. That'd be okay. I'd be okay with that. Yeah. Right. I actually thought the Apple proposal was not the way Apple wanted to do it was privacy protecting, and they pulled back on it because they got so much pushback from their users.
Well, I mean, but as Georgia has pointed out, it depends on how the rules change in the future. So, for example, going after CSAM, I'm with you on that because not only are the images themselves disgusting, but that's a kid getting seriously hurt. But at the same time, then if the government says, well, we're now also going to scan for this, or we're now going to scan for that. And, the White House just this week was talking about, Antifa, as though that's an actual organization, being the equivalent of terrorists. So do you scan for Antifa messages now based on the same principle once you've
certainly our government would want to do that. And would feel justified in doing that. This is exactly right. This is the last paragraph in the EFF article. Phones and laptops must work for the users who own them, not act as bugs in our pockets in the service of governments, foreign or domestic. The mass scanning of everything on our devices is invasive, untenable, and must be rejected. Go ahead, Georgia.
Yeah, we could play the if game, and if that was the case, but unfortunately it is not. And we can already tell, you can tell what someone's behavior is going to be, not by what they say, but what are their actions. And the best way to define what someone's actions will be were their actions in the past. And we already know that that this is this kind of creeping vine, and it is just a creeping vine, that governments will change the way it is. Privacy policies will change it, and you don't have to re-sign the privacy policy. They send you a whole bunch of like kerfuffle, and then if you're going to use the app, it's kind of suddenly there. And so unfortunately, that is the beast that we are dealing with. I would love to be able to say, just trust, this seems reasonable, we should say okay, and they will never ask for anything else. The rules will not change, and people will not become complacent. But unfortunately, people often can't be bothered to constantly fight. We're inundated with so much information that it can be overwhelming, and we become addicted to the technology that we use. And so all of it is I wish that I'm not always the dark horse in this podcast to be able to say like, we might not be able to trust at face value. I wish that we could, but unfortunately that is not often the case, and definitely not in the case of the way that governments use the information they have. They can actually go through the court system to be able to unlock, take a look at, and sneak through. And I think that we should always be wary when we're giving up our rights and our privacy for something.
Yeah, to be clear, nobody likes or nobody I know supports child sexual abuse material.
Yeah.
This is a horrific.
But it's one of the four horsemen of the infopocalypse, which gets rolled out. It's terrorists, it's organized crime, it's child abusers, and it's drug dealers.
Yeah.
Anything on those four.
Because it makes you seem like a horrible person if you say no against it.
Of course, but you
can't. A very inflammatory argument. And so I think that makes people want to be on the good guy's side, and that anyone that's saying no against it must be like a horrible person. How could you say no? Let's protect the kids.
Yeah.
But that's not what we're doing here now. Like you also can't say, oh, well, you're saying it's to protect the kids, so you must be doing something nefarious and you can't do it.
Oh, no.
No, I'm not saying that.
Right?
I'm not saying that at all.
So, but to, yield a little bit, I will say that what's happening in the US right now, in the past few months, is the best reminder that, yes, things that are put in place can be stretched and then used to do things that are not.
So let me ask then the logistic question. So the vote is October 13th or 14th. This was
14th,
proposed by the Danish government. The entire European Parliament votes on it. First of all, do you think it'll pass? It looks like they have enough support to pass. Yes or no?
From what I'm hearing, it all comes down to Germany at this point.
Okay. They have such a big block, and
they've got such a big block,
and they're undecided right now.
Yeah, I mean, the Chaos Computing Club, who one of the groups that
Berlin.
I would actually trust with security, have come out against it. But honestly, no one knows which way it's going to go. I suspect there'll be an awful lot of backroom deals.
And then, if it happens, then what happens? Does each country enforce their own version of it, or is it because you don't have a EU-wide law system, right? Or do you?
No, but every country has to implement it into their
own way.
System. Yeah, and it usually takes a couple of years for it to have to be implemented.
And could it be implemented differently in each country?
Well, it would be the same effect. It would be the same thing.
Okay.
I mean, it's also a question of possibility, as we've seen in the UK, because they recently passed a law saying, yes, you have to be able to backdoor end-to-end encrypted messages. But then there was a cop-out, and they said once it becomes technologically feasible to do so, because no one's actually found a way to do this which doesn't break encryption.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, and Patrick, you know this as well as I do, in the EU, when countries can implement these laws in so many different ways that, it depends very much on a state-to-state basis.
Well, there's a lot of opposition to it. I'll be very interested to see what happens. It's 6 days away. Maybe
I'd
next
be
week
interested to see. if it passes, I think all hell will break loose. I think
Yeah.
all tech companies will, this kind of creeped up on everyone. It was first proposed a couple of years ago, I think, and it went away pretty quickly. And all of a sudden now it's back and it's like, oh, we're going to vote now. And it's like, wait, what? So if it does pass, I think a lot of, Apple and Google and Proton, well, maybe not Proton, they're Swiss, although they have their own troubles.
Well, Switzerland, has also been proposing changes in their traditionally very strong privacy protections. Yes.
Yeah, huge changes. I mean, it's as Patrick has said, Proton, a very good, commercial private email company, are saying they might now have to move out of Switzerland, and that was one of their big selling points. I mean, I remember when we had the Black Phone. Do you remember that from the noughties, which was a totally secure handset?
Yeah.
And they were building and hosting in Switzerland for just that reason, because they have very strong data privacy laws.
It said they were in a mountain in Switzerland, as I remember.
Yeah,
which made it extra private. So, what are the laws that they're proposing in Switzerland? Proton says we're considering leaving. Proton was started, by the way, by some CERN physicists. And I think is the equivalent of a public benefit company. It's not a for-profit organization. They've been doing so much stuff, not just encrypted email, but file storage, password protection. They have chat, Lumo, which is they have AI, Lumo, which is their chat GPT competitor. I don't know if they have chat. So it's interesting how many things they have going on. There are some VPNs also in Switzerland who are there for the same reason, who are considering moving. NIM VPN says you cannot invest in privacy in Switzerland right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's a digital ID system is very similar to the one that's just been promoted in the UK.
Yeah,
and
they just voted to back that in Switzerland, by the way, by 50.4%.
Yeah.
This is funny because this is something traditionally people in the United States have really, it's been anathema, especially to the conservatives, to have a national identity card. We have state identity cards, driver's licenses, and IDs. But to have a national one has always been anathema. But I feel like we're moving in that direction, to be honest.
I mean, to be clear, the one that's pushing Proton to threaten to leave is not the ID card. Right. They have an insane, and I've been defending this chat control thing for the past 15 minutes. So they have an insane proposal about surveillance, mass surveillance. They want every company that has 5,000 users or more to essentially retain all the data that goes through their service. They want the ID, everyone to provide a piece of ID, a form of ID to use the service, and they want that information to be made available to police services without a court order.
Yeah.
Wow.
It is I've never seen any law go that far, and for it to come from Switzerland, that has been so protective of private data and privacy in the past, at a time when the entirety of the European Union is looking for alternatives from, big American tech, and it's turning towards Proton and other Swiss services, is on every level mind-boggling. So I don't understand what is happening with that law. I don't know if it's still being discussed or still being pushed, but it's insane. And we've talked about a bunch of insane things today. This is probably on the top of that list.
Andy Yen, the founder and the CEO of Proton, says the only other country with similar laws is Russia. They've they announced in July that they are moving out of Switzerland. Most of its physical infrastructure will be moved. Well, maybe this is a mistake to the EU. They say investing more than $100 million in the European Union and plan to help develop a sovereign Euro stack for the future of our home continent.
Well, this is why it's such a great business opportunity for Europe to actually have strong data protection laws. Because if you can't go to America and you can't go to Russia and you can't go to China,
Can't go anywhere.
EU is, could actually make bank from this if it played its cards right. No
Is
pun
there any?
intended.
I'm curious if there's any country that offers kind of strong data protection that could become a haven for companies like this.
Traditionally,
Well,
Iceland-
Switzerland so far,
Yeah, but not anymore.
I
By
mean,
the way, that is they're considering it. That is not yet
Yes.
the law.
Yeah.
no. I mean,
And it would come from the
Iceland's
government. They
traditionally
have to get a public response, but apparently does not need parliamentary approval.
Switzerland has a weird legal system and legal system. They do what's called in French votation, which is for most laws, they get the whole country to vote. Like literally for big important laws, everyone gets their ballot and votes yes or no on those laws, not just on elections, on laws. So I believe that's what needs to happen for this one to go into effect.
Okay. Well, we'll watch that with interest. I guess Proton's taking it seriously enough that they're already starting the move. Although now, with chat control, maybe they're going to regret that decision. I don't know.
Chat controlled compared to this.
Where do you go?
that's-
Yeah.
Where do you go? I don't know.
I was going to say Iceland's traditionally been a good place, but that's part of the EU now as well. So
I remember when I was visiting the Bahamas some years ago, they said, yeah, we have plans to become a data haven, but I think it was more like a smuggler's paradise than it was a place where Proton might want to move. I don't know. I think that's a great economic opportunity for some nation that's willing to take on the rest of the world, because obviously the world is going in that direction. All right, let's pause for station identification. This is Twit, and I am so glad that I love the international perspective here. It's really nice to get that variety. Most of the time we have Americans on talking about American issues, but I'm really glad we get Patrick Beja here from representing France. Ian Thompson, who lives in the U.S., is soon to be a U.S. citizen, but
maybe.
Maybe. Don't know what'll happen.
Depends if they let me in or not. And I, for one, welcome our new glorious leader.
Yes. Do you feel like you have to moderate your social media postings because you're applying for citizenship now?
No, I always did.
They will look at them, right? They do look at it.
Yeah. Oh, no, they look at it. But I mean, I've always been fairly moderate on that because I'm a guest in this country, and I don't think it's particularly fair for me to actually go and start slagging off a country that's hosting me as a guest. But that said, I don't hold back about British politics, but hey, I'm a British voter now. So
yeah. It's nice to have Ian from the Register, and of course from Canada, from Montreal, which is really not Canada. It's Quebec. She's from Quebec, right? Is that separatist movement still happening? Is that are there still people?
Yes, no, for sure. There's definitely a resurgence.
I'm all for it. I'm a Quebecois by ancestry. So I'm all for it. I'm a francophone. Oui. It's great to have you, Georgia. And maybe if you have a little spare bedroom, Lisa and I can just come up and
for sure.
Come by. Move in. Yeah.
Come
maybe
by.
take one of those. How many VR rooms do you have now?
We have we have 4.
4, one for each member of the family.
but like they're used rooms for other things. You can just move everything around if you happen to want to play some VR.
Yes,
so I'm not doing as much VR. I'm playing more Night Rain right now. So
Night Rain, is that the new one?
It's an Elden Ring, like fast-paced Elden Ring game.
Those are hard.
It is a little bit brutal, but there's something really salient about it because it's 45 minutes. You have to speed against the clock. It's quite a lot of like fast-paced fun, and the night slowly encroaches upon you. And so you're squished into smaller and smaller places trying to fight the bosses before the night comes and sucks all of your life.
I like the idea of it's only 45 minutes.
It really is about that every single time.
You can't waste your life playing it. You're going to have a 45-minute session, then it'll be over.
It'll be over. You will win or you will die At first, you
Wow.
usually just die, and then you get better. You get better at winning, but it's kind of brutal. It's really quite fun, and it's nice because it's easier to pick up. It's not like a game where
Elden Ring was too hard for me. It was so hard.
Elden Ring, you just have to get used to dying and not fighting everything.
And you
really
learn the
strategic. You become
patterns of
humble.
each boss, right? And so
You
then
really
you can.
have to learn the patterns of each boss and what they bring and what to fight. So you have to think about the strategy, but it's a microcosm of what Elden Ring is.
Night
in a
Rain.
fast-paced way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might have to check this out.
You should try it out.
Yeah.
You should try it out.
Yeah. I played that French one for a while. That's everybody's.
Expedition 33.
Expedition 33.
Oh,
You
yes.
told me to play
I
this,
played-
Patrick, last
Yes.
time you were
I
on.
played
Yes.
Expedition 33 for some of it.
I
You
thought
did
that
a
was-
video on it also.
Did you finish it? I saw the first
I have
the
not-
first video. Oh,
I have
okay.
not yet finished it because of Night Rain. Like look, when I play a game, I'm very like, I'm going to go all the way into the game. And did you finish it? And should I finish the game after
You
I'm
should
done
finish
Night
it.
Rain? Is it that it's worth it?
You should.
Yeah?
I'm not going to say anything. Just finish it.
Oh, okay.
No spoilers.
Okay. I
Excellent.
really loved the storyline. Like the storyline and
It's
the
a little
characters
odd. Yeah.
drew me in and then crushed me, which I enjoyed as a therapist. I enjoyed that process. Okay, I'll do that.
Yes,
I
finish it.
I was playing it and enjoying it because I had it on Game Pass. And then two things happened. One, I died and I didn't reincarnate or anything. I just was gone. And I thought, well, that's sad. And then the other is they've raised the price of Game Pass. So I decided, you know what? I quit. I'm done. I'm done. I'm going to play the piano, learn to play the piano instead. But this Night Ring looks tempting. It's on Steam.
It's a fun one, but it's fast paced. It's kind of brutal. It's very stressful at first. Like there's a high level of stress. So I don't want you to not go in with the thought of.
I'm used to that from Elden Ring. Yeah.
Oh, then this is a little bit like Elden Ring on a speed drug. Yeah.
Oh, I like it. Oh, unfortunately, I have to play it on Windows. I don't have a Windows machine, so it's not available on Linux, huh?
Don't
Rats.
think so.
Rats. I got the new framework desktop, which I'm really loving. It's super fast.
Ah,
And actually, I bought it as an AI machine because it's got that new Ryzen AI Plus Max 395, very nice processor and 128 gigs of RAM and stuff. So it's great. It's in fact, we had our AI user group on Friday, and everybody said, "Oh, you got to download the 120 gigabyte version of the Open Chat GPT." And but I don't know if it'll run. And it is. It runs beautifully, and it runs about 20 tokens per second. So I was very pleased. And it's nice to have local, but it also, because it's got a good GPU, it could be good for playing Night Rain. If they had a Linux version, maybe I can use Wine or something
Proton.
like that. Proton. Yeah, that's right. That's what everybody does. Yeah. All right, I'll try it. I'll report back.
Oh, okay. I want to know.
Well, you're an inspiration to me. I'll tell you. You are. Are you excited about the Meta glasses? That's not VR though. Those aren't.
It
VR.
isn't, but I will be interested. I will be interested. I'm all there to look at the world like.
There's big Apple news about VR, which we will share with you in a moment. Kind of a surprise from Mark Gurman, our Apple rumor guy. But first, a word from our sponsor. And I love this sponsor, Spaceship. I love all our sponsors. We only do sponsors I love. That's the truth. But Spaceship really is cool. We've talked about them a few times before on the show, and for good reason. It's becoming very quickly one of the fastest growing domain name registrar and hosting providers. They now have, they just started months ago, 4.5 million domains under management and accounting, including some of mine. It's very modern. Very modern. That kind of rapid growth doesn't happen by accident. They're doing something right. Besides offering below market prices on domain registration, they have a very nice, straightforward interface, very clean. It's funny. So many registrars look like this websites were designed in the 90s. This is easy to use. It's modern. They do some really innovative products and features. They have, for instance, ALF, which is, yes, an alien, but also an AI buddy that can do a lot of the work, the stuff that, busy work that you may not enjoy at domain transfers. Alpha will actually do it for you. DNS updates, all those weird settings. It does it for you, which is nice. Although I'm one of those guys, I like to tweak my DNS all the time. I'm in there messing with it, and it gives you a great interface, makes it very easy to do that. The pricing, though, of course, is the thing that gets people in the door. That really surprised me. We're not just talking about new purchase here. Their renewal prices are also low compared to other companies. My guess, and I'm putting words in their mouth, is because their services are so great and compelling, they want to get you in the door with the domain names. You register the domain names, and then you say, oh, look, and what I can do with these domains. And they make their money there, because otherwise, I don't know how they're doing it. It is really if all you want is somewhere to host your existing domains, this is a no-brainer. Look at transferring your existing domains. If you've got a domain stuck with another registrar, by the way, they do that. They make it, not Spaceship, but the other guys, they make it hard to transfer out. It's very easy to transfer to Spaceship. Quicker, simpler than you might think. The processing is incredibly straightforward. And believe it or not, you can often finish it in 30 minutes. And here's the nice thing. You don't have to wait for your current domain to expire. Once the transfer is complete, Spaceship automatically adds a year to your current registration, an additional year. Also, you'll receive a complimentary 1-year subscription to Spacemail for a year. That's their wonderful professional business email. By the way, pro tip here, if you're still getting your email at AOL.com, knock it off, or even Gmail or Hotmail. It could go to Gmail, it could go to Hotmail, but use your own domain so that you own the mail address, not some other company. And by the way, I think you're going to really like Spaceship's professional email. Spacemail is great. Do take a look at their hosting and the other things they offer, the VPSs. They really do a nice job. They have an incredible end-to-end encrypted messaging solution that's so brilliant. Instead of being based on your phone number or some handle, it can be your domain name. So I registered $4.99 a year, leos.im for my instant messenger, and I'm using their incredible messaging at leos.im. But the domain name becomes your handle on the messenger. It's brilliant. They're so innovative. To discover how much you can save compared to your current registrar, go to spaceship.com/twit. Follow the link at the top of the page. Ready to switch and save, transfer your domain to Spaceship today. It's very easy. I think you're going to be very impressed. Spaceship.com/twit. Spaceship.com/twit. Highly recommended. So Mark Gurman says Apple has decided not to make the next generation of Vision Pro. He's been saying for some time they were going to make a less expensive Vision Pro. He says instead they took a look at what Meta's doing with the glasses. They're going to go all in on glasses. Did you ever get a Vision Pro, Georgia? You're a Meta. You use the Meta stuff.
Yeah, I've used like the Oculus, and then like I have like the some of the other ones. Like I have the PS4, PS5 one. Like I have a few of them, the HTC Vives. But yeah, maybe.
Huh. Did the idea of glasses with the heads-up display attract you?
It's intriguing to me. Like it's intriguing to me, but again, that thought of wearing it, like it depends how much it gives me versus how much it takes away from what I'm interacting with. I think that the distraction, like I don't wear my watch usually unless I'm like going out and it serves a purpose, because I don't want my tech to constantly be annoying me. I think that distance, I think, is kind of healthy for my personality type. So yeah, it would really depend. Like I would already be easily distracted. So it's intriguing to me. And would I try them out? Yeah, I definitely would.
But as somebody who's all in on VR, the idea of having a helmet on and you're in another world, you're not seeing what's around you, you're in another world playing a game or whatever. Are you disappointed to hear that Apple is not putting any more money in that direction? By the way, this is just a rumor. Apple has not confirmed it.
Yeah, not really, because I was not really thrilled, or I didn't find it really compelling. I think that they did not find a really good use case to be able to make something that I would find salient. And I'm kind of the target audience. Like I was all in with VR. So AR, would be something that I would be really interested in. I could do that Minority Report and be able to like kind of interact with all of the different pieces around me not maybe while I worked during my day job, but like while I worked during my like nighttime kind of stuff. That would be really a lot of fun. And so that I found it not that compelling and enjoyable. I did feel that Apple missed the mark. So
the company, according to Gurman, had been preparing a cheaper, lighter variant of its headset. He even had the codename N100 for release, not next year, but the year after 2027. He says Apple announced internally last week that it's moving staff from that project to accelerate work on glasses.
I mean, this has traditionally been Apple's mode of operation, in that they're not necessarily pioneers of new technology, but they are superb at taking existing technology and making it an awful lot better. And I think glasses is the right form factor, to be honest. I mean, yeah, if you're playing a game or if you're in a simulation or something like that, then yes, goggles make a certain amount of sense. But having something that you can carry around with you that, as Georgia says, isn't too intrusive could be, a really good seller for them. And let's face it, they haven't produced that much that's new and exciting in quite a while.
I mean, it's really a very different product, though.
It's not the same at all, is it? Yeah.
Yeah. The Vision Pro is kind of, if you want to do an easy analogy, the Vision Pro is like a computing platform. They call it spatial computing. And these glasses would be like a watch, kind of.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same kind of computing horizon you can look to. So I think it's pretty clear that the Vision Pro is not taking off, and they're seeing this other thing that's taking off. The thing is, though, in order for glasses to work, you need very solid AI. You need extremely solid generative conversational AI.
Yeah.
They don't have it yet. I mean, there is this app that Gurman was talking about. What's it called? Can't remember.
They're using it internally. Yeah.
That apparently is good. So maybe they're getting there. But yeah, it's very, very different products. To me, it's very interesting that they're getting into the smart glasses game. And I think it would seem to me like, what do I know? But it would seem to me like they're right to. It's more useful and exciting. But I wouldn't want them to give up on the Vision Pro, paradigm either, because I think it's an interesting proposition to have this computer all around you in your space / slightly VR.
We'll talk more about this on Tuesday on Mac Break Weekly, because we have two Vision Pro owners and advocates on the show, Jason Snell and Alex Lindsay. I've been very lukewarm about the Vision Pro from day one. To be clear, Gurman says Apple is still planning to refresh the Vision Pro with its newer chip, maybe even as soon as this year. But the fact that they are canceling plans for a later generation sounds like they perhaps are giving up on the Vision Pro, which would be kind of a shock.
No, I don't think they would be giving up. Maybe they're putting it on the back burner, but I wouldn't think they're giving up. They're really just getting.
They've always wanted to do glasses. Is the other thing. I mean, Tim Cook has always thought that glasses would be superior to a fully enclosed headset.
Well, the fully enclosed headset limits what you can actually do, in software terms and user experience terms. Whereas, I don't know, when I first saw AR, Microsoft's Halo AR system, for example, I was kind of like, this is going to be really useful because you can function.
You mean HoloLens?
Oh, sorry, HoloLens, that's it, yes.
Halo's a game.
Sorry, HoloLens.
Yeah.
And it was very clunky, but it did work. And, AR seems to be the way that's going forward. And VR seems to be stuck in a bit of a sort of technological ghetto, as it were.
Tim Cook said, according to Gurman in 2016, quote, few people are going to view that it's acceptable to be enclosed in something because we're all social people at heart. He always thought glasses were the way to go. So maybe the justification for Vision Pro is I think it always was a developer project that was really intended to be a learning process for them on the way to something that is more appealing, like glasses. Glasses still, there are a lot of technologies that aren't really there yet. Battery technology, computing, you're right, AI. The way Meta's doing the display is not AR. It's just a little screen inside your eyeglass. I feel like I want is something that superimposes information on the world as I walk around.
Yeah.
Instead of having something that's very heavy, if you're using, if you're wearing anything that's that heavy on your face for such a long time, it's really kind of exhausting.
Yeah, that's no good.
So that's
And Meta's
you can't
shown
do that for a day, and then you end up with neck pain. So it's something that you can use for a period of time, but then you feel kind of exhausting. Whereas glasses is something that
we wear anyway.
Many people wear anyways,
Right.
and it can superimpose information to that to be additive instead of subtractive, not for everything is VR like subtractive, like it adds a lot to the world. It's very, very cool. I do still enjoy it, but I find it tiresome. Like I'm tired. I'm a little bit exhausted at the end of wearing.
Right. I was too, and slightly nauseated. Yeah. Yeah. Whereas this is just, these are the the current generation Meta Ray-Bans. I'm very tempted. I don't think I'll get the updated version because I think they're still all just stepping stones on the path to something I really want. I don't think we're quite, technologically, I don't think we're quite there yet.
Hi, this is this is Benito. I think the problem with Apple is that they ignored the gamers. Like they didn't want to try to port any of the games, and that would have been really what people bought it for.
Yeah,
Meta. That's why Meta succeeded with the Meta Quest, right? It was a gaming platform first and foremost.
No gamer would have bought an Apple
$3,500
for gaming. They're not.
Well,
I mean,
it would have to have some really amazing games. I'm not going to say no. Don't tell me no yet, because really, if I could go in there, I'm wearing a mech. I felt it. There was Centivision. I felt the air on me. There was a platform underneath. If I might have been in. But it really didn't see it. It did a lot of everything and not very good at anything, unfortunately. And then it was really pricey. It was pretty. It was pretty.
It was amazing technology. I mean, right? That's what it really was. Is Apple showing off its tech chops?
Patrick, if you could play Street Fighter in VR,
think how good you'd be.
Or really fit. At least at the end, you'd be really, really
really doing it.
I can play Beat Saber for that, actually.
Yeah, I enjoyed Beat Saber in the Meta Quest. I really thought that was fun.
That's good.
I like that. Yeah. Gaming is changing a little bit. Microsoft is raising the price on its Game Pass Ultimate to $30 a month. It seems a little bit high.
Well,
they're raising it on everything. But
you could justify the Xbox with tariffs. Right?
I don't think this is about tariffs.
Okay.
The Game Pass thing is software. I don't think there's tariffs on that yet.
Well, that's what I'm saying is, you could say, well, I understand why you added $100 to the Xbox because you got tariffs, but the Game Pass is...
Right.
So it went up $10. It went up 50%.
This and a lot of people are very upset about this. So what happened exactly is that Microsoft announced a few days ago that they are raising the price of Game Pass, which is their subscription service. When you get Game Pass, you get access to a number of games. And
it made sense to me because I am a casual gamer. I'm not the kind of person, I'm not going to play like Georgia, that rain game hour, for months. I want to try a little of this, a little of that. So Game Pass made sense. I got access to 100 games and I could play a little bit of this for the same price. That's how I played that weird French game. But serious gamers, do they do that? No, they're going to buy.
Well, they did because but they did because Game Pass was an incredibly silly level good deal. It was so cheap when it launched, and it was so there are now multiple tiers of Game Pass, and different ones have different number of games. But the big feature was day one inclusion in Game Pass for games that would release. So when they would release, a lot of them would be included in Game Pass,
and that's what you want. You want
$15.
Day one releases. Otherwise, you're playing an old game.
Big feature. Right. And now they've pushed it away and away and away, and it's only in the ultimate version of Game Pass now, which has just gone from $20 to $30. And a lot of people are very upset, understandably, but no one really understands why they did it. And the reason is actually quite simple. Game Pass used to be a product that they would lure people into their ecosystem with. It was a, how do you call it? Produit d'appel in French. Like a subsidized product to get people to play on Xbox. The thing is now...
We call them doorbuster specials in the United States.
There you go. It was a doorbuster special for Microsoft. The thing is now, they don't have an Xbox anymore. So they have to price the service at the price that it's worth or closer to it. Like, it's not subsidized for getting people into the Xbox ecosystem. And I think a lot of people will say, oh, but what are you talking about? They still have an Xbox. No, they're not, like, very, very much not focused on Xbox hardware.
Is
anymore.
it over for Xbox?
For the hardware, yeah, pretty much.
They're not going to make another one.
Well, there was talks. Now the rumor is they might be canceling it, but they've been saying for a few years, yes, we are making another piece of hardware. It's going to be the most powerful console you've ever seen, and it's incredible. It's crazy. Things have changed since then, but even if they were to do it, I think my big theory for it is that they would run a modified version of Windows on it, and that they would unify their hardware platforms, and so they wouldn't need to do it specifically as an independent console. It would just be Windows in a box, essentially, which they're developing an independent, a gaming-focused version of Windows for the ROG Xbox Ally, which is one of those little portable gaming PCs.
Yeah, they call
like
it
a Switch.
An Xbox. Yeah, portable Xbox. Yeah.
And so they're developing a version of Windows that when you first load into it for the gaming version, it doesn't have a lot of the desktop components. So it's much lighter. It has more RAM, et cetera, et cetera. It has an Xbox app like full screen that's easier to use. And my guess was they're going to give this to a lot of different developers. They would put it on a Windows machine, call it an Xbox, and say, there you go, we have a new Xbox. And so they wouldn't need to worry about a console. It seems now, at least there's a rumor saying they're not going to do it. Even if they do, it's not really the same kind of device that Sony and Nintendo are putting out. And it's not the same business model. Microsoft is now very much a developer, a publisher. So they're into software and buying Activision and Bethesda and all of those was supposed to be giving games to the Xbox platform. In the end, it just gave games to Microsoft, and they're going to put out their games on every platform.
Windows gaming is still totally dominant, isn't it? I mean,
I wouldn't say dominant.
It's not bigger than console gaming?
Well, okay, so revenue-wise, PC is about comparable to all of the consoles together. So yes, in that sense, it might be dominant. But mobile is both of those combined again. So it's PC plus console is mobile.
But mobile isn't
PC
really
is a huge...
gaming.
Yeah, mobile is, well, so here's my definition of gaming on mobile.
Mobile's
it's a lot
casual.
of casual gamers.
Yeah.
A lot of casual. What's the difference between a casual gamer and a core gamer? I ask you. Well, I have the answer. A core gamer is someone...
bathes less often.
That might be the case, but it's a corollary, not a... so a core gamer is someone that makes time to play. A casual gamer is someone that plays when they have time. And a lot of mobile gamers are casual gamers in that sense. They just play when they have nothing else to do and they want to...
Tell my mom that when she plays Bejeweled, she plays that all day.
She might not be a casual
Well, she has a lot of free time.
There we go. She might actually, she might be more of a gamer than she knows.
I once I had one of those early Windows phones that had a stylus, and I once lent it to a friend who played Bejeweled so much that the screen was scored with lines.
They are playing Bejeweled wrong.
She was rather addicted to the game, I think.
Yes, so.
I mean, there are very hardcore mobile game players. They exist.
Yeah.
I remember I did play one game similar to that. It was a swipe game, and I actually burned through some of the I no longer had fingerprints on one part of my finger. There was
that's a sign.
There was a time.
Yeah,
so
that's
maybe your definition.
Yeah, that was a warning sign.
See,
I know.
Ian and I like the definition, Patrick, but apparently that's not good.
Well, there could be some casual core gamers. That's all.
Yeah.
There might be a midpoint of people that will take time to play a mobile game, and that is their
and
joy
they're
and
core
happiness.
gamers. Yeah.
But
It's a spectrum.
I think most. It is. It's all games. I mean, it's all games. I understand. I play chess on my iPhone. Am I a gamer?
Well, I think that I like Patrick's definition. That would be: did you make time to play chess, or do you play chess when you have time?
Yeah.
Those are two different things, and I think that is a definite mindset. It's almost the difference between like what is an addiction versus what isn't. That would be one more step. Whereas you have now taken time what you should be using to do something else, and now your entire life is crumbling because you're doing this instead. So we could add to Patrick's theory. I like it.
So if you forget to pee, then you're a gamer. Is that it?
That's it. You boiled it down to its essential argument. But so Microsoft, it seems, is very much going towards just being a software company, which strengthens Sony and Nintendo to do whatever the heck they want and raise prices left and right. And that's not an awesome result. Yeah. But the gaming market is still very, very diverse and fragmented. Like you have multiple players in many different areas. So
what's the
I'm not
deal
too worried about consolidation
with EA being purchased by the Saudis for $42 billion?
55, 20 of which is debt. 20 billion of those 55 billion to buy EA is debt. This is the biggest leveraged buyout in the history. In history.
So why is EA worth so much money?
Because they're a very big player in a very big industry.
They do sports games primarily, right?
They do a lot of sports game. They have EA FC, EA Sports FC, which used to be FIFA. Right. And they have Madden. They have a bunch of sports games. They have The Sims is EA, and they have a bunch of other things that are more like core gamery, which we can in the industry. Everyone seems to think you need to pay back those 20 billion. So there's a lot of things that are going to be stripped for parts. And
that's what private equity like Silver Lake typically does. This is also Saudi Arabia's public investment fund. They bought Pokemon Go. And actually, I want to say they improved it a little bit. It's a little bit more fun to play. Okay. And Monopoly Go. I've seen a lot more ads for Monopoly Go because of it. Jared Kushner's Affinity Partners is also participating. He's got ties to the Saudi Arabian royal family.
So this is very much just like sports washing. It's like sports washing. It's the same thing.
Is it? Yeah. Is it? Or the Riyadh Comedy Festival?
Yeah, it's all the same thing.
Making the Saudi
it would seem so, yeah.
Family be okay?
It's money. I mean, I'm guessing that what's his name? MBS thinks that there is money to be made there. It's part of his what's it called? Saudi 2030 plan.
Well, they're smart because they understand oil is not going to last forever, right? They have huge amount of money now because of their oil wealth, but it's not going to be forever. I think I remember the leader of the United Arab Emirates saying, my grandparents lived in a tent and rode camels. I'm driving a Lambo, but my grandchildren will probably be living in tents riding camels. So we've got to diversify. We've got to find other ways. We take the capital we have now in plenitude and build something. And that makes a lot of sense to me.
Of course.
Yeah. I'm not sure EA is the pass.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
EA the pass?
Maybe it is. FIFA it makes a lot of money. I mean, it's not FIFA. It's EA Sports FC.
Yeah.
And maybe they have opportunities around all of this. They actually bought SNK, which is a Japanese or formerly Japanese gaming company focused on fighting games of all things. And they put football players and DJs in their latest title as fighters, which is a bit weird. It feels like MBS likes games, and he's like, yeah, let's have one. We'll do something.
I don't get why this would be greenwashing or whatever washing. though? I mean, why is this going to improve people's point of view of Saudi Arabia?
They're gonna
depends what they do with the games.
Yeah, what are they gonna put into games now? Like, there's a lot of war games.
Oh,
they make a lot of war games like Call of Duty, stuff like that.
Well,
Battlefield. My bad.
Battlefield. Yeah.
I think that most people don't know who owns the games that they play. I think that most people probably don't care. I think that it is one of the fastest growing addictions besides social media. So I think there's probably a lot of money that is in gaming.
It does really make you wonder what's their
a set of media. It does, they could say, don't put this or do point this in. There's a lot of unconscious bias that goes into gamings and games. So I don't know. I think that they could use it, but it's just about money.
Yeah, maybe it's just money, but maybe why not both? There's
is there data in there that they might want?
I don't think so.
Not really.
No, but there was an article that just came out about this study. Actually, game time has increased dramatically in the past 10 years among 20 to 34-year-olds, male especially. And I can see how that's a demographic they would like to. But they play free-to-play games. They play like Fortnite and Call of Duty Warzone. And
the other thought I had is that maybe you're going to see more of this as people get more and more concerned about the stock market being a bubble and a crash coming for a variety of reasons, including tariffs and the AI bubble. And they're looking for alternative ways to invest that might be out of the stock market. And if that's the case, you'll see more of this kind of thing, I would imagine.
Yeah, although I think, to be honest, they might be smarter if they waited until the bubble pops and then they can buy the stuff up for half of the price.
Yeah. If you're in it for the long haul, that's the time to buy, isn't it?
Yeah. But I don't know. I agree with you. I'm not sure how much this is going to help the Saudi administration. It's not as though you're going to get a women's football team with burqas on in the game. They own the Formula One gaming franchise. Electronic Arts owns the Formula One gaming franchise as well. So, and that's something the Saudis have been very keen on as well.
They love their racing. Yeah.
Oh, they do. Yes.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Maybe that's how you go about it. You don't change anything, and then you're like, look,
they're good people.
They didn't change anything. The Sims can kiss even if they're like two women, and so there you go. Was that the point of the comedy festival? It might have been, right, to say, look, see how liberal we are.
Pretty much.
It would seem maybe, the Saudi crown is interested in portraying themselves a little bit more favorably, but maybe they don't really care if, American women kiss in the street as long as they don't in the streets
don't do it in Riyadh. Stay out of Riyadh. Okay.
So.
Yes. I mean, I was out in Saudi Arabia for a week a while back, and it is it's a system which is never going to take off over here. But as you say, Patrick, it's more about, hey, we have comedy festivals, we're cool too,
right.
Yeah.
Money is a global market, so it makes sense that they want to globalize and be able to deal with that. I don't think that it's going to really change people's viewpoints upon them unless they alter the media in which they control, such as like Reddit and other places that have, definitely, different areas of being able to control that. So who knows?
Let's take one more break. You are watching This Week in Tech. We're talking about the week's tech news and a little bit more with Georgia Dow, Westmount Therapy. She still gives out her email address. You did this during the COVID pandemic, and I thought I think people wrote to you, it was very helpful, so thank you. And of course, you can watch Georgia's Therapist Reacts videos, and she talks a little bit about psychology as well on YouTube at Georgia Dow. DOW is her YouTube channel. 267,000 subscribers, Georgia. Good job.
Yeah, it's okay.
That's good. Can you make? It's none of my business, but can you make a living on this?
People could. Like, my channel goes up and down depending. Like, if I choose something that's really popular, it might do really well and it might not. But I just try to choose the different things.
I think the views are going up over the last few years.
Up and down. I think that YouTube has like a downturn now. Like, so I do like different games that I'm involved in, and so some of those do well and some of them don't in different shows. But it kind YouTube wants you to follow in a stream. So its stream that it wants me to follow in is kind of like in the anime area. So
interesting. How do they tell you that?
I deal with that.
Do they send you a memo or
by the numbers? Like it tells you really, really quick. You get rewarded. It's a Pavlovian response. You get rewarded really nicely for doing the videos that YouTube is happy with. And if you keep on doing the same type of thing, it'll keep on promoting you. You switch the algorithm gets angry if you switch that up a little bit.
Almost 500,000 views on your video on Invincible being lonely. I think that's good. That was good. Yes.
Invincible
was actually a pretty good show. Oh, you did Severance?
A brutal show. Yeah.
Irving's Secret Past. So my son did this with TikTok. He paid really close attention to what got the views, what got on the For You page, and he was able to leverage that by leaning in on the stuff people wanted to see.
You definitely can. I'm more rebellious about that. If I enjoy something or I think it's important, I want to be able to.
I'm the same. I said, hey, don't chase an audience. Just do what you love.
But I also have like a second, like I have a second job, so I can do that. So I have that ability to be able to do that. I think that other people are more. I'm in a very fortunate position.
You're getting good views though, very solid views. I'm looking at this. This feels pretty good. That's nice. Good job. And I think the costuming is very important.
I don't know really if it is. It's kind of fun and silly.
I think seeing you in the Wolverine wife beater with the metal adamantium
those claws were pretty. Yeah. I have to say, I made those claws. They were pretty sick. They flop around a little bit, but I was pretty excited about those claws. I hope to get to wear them again.
I could see why people would want to watch that. It's great to have you. It's good to see you again, Georgia. Thank you for being here. Also with us, the wonderful Ian Thompson at the Register. You are on my regular daily beat check where I go and I look for stories to talk about.
That's what we do.
I always go to the Register because your coverage is so right on.
Well, we've expanded out, so now we've got also offices over here, offices in the UK originally, of course, and then Australia as well.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
Freelancers around. So yeah, we try and maintain a global news flow, as it were.
I also like it that you haven't fallen prey to every other site now has all these new redesigns and they're doing weird things, and this is just it's text basically. It's a step above the Drudge Report. It's just texts, and I like that.
Clean. It's very clean.
It's content rich.
I mean, basically, we didn't try and pivot to video or anything like that. It's just like it works. It's what the readers like. If they don't like it, they tell us about it in very, very extreme terms. So we do a redesign very carefully if it happens at all.
You have the best thing there is in the world, which is a devoted readership, and they will let you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the, because I mean, tech publications are, their circulation is tanking since Google basically changed things around, and if you're relying on Google for clicks, then you're in trouble at the moment.
You were smart, so you don't.
No.
Have you noticed a drop in referral traffic from search or?
Some, but you see, 60% of our traffic is people coming direct to the site. So I mean, it's about building a solid quality site rather than relying on gaming Google, and they can change the rules whenever they want.
Nice. TheRegister.com. I like it. And of course, not Patrick. Who is Patrick? Patrick Dejav, not Patrick.com. It's getting a little late. Are you in Paris again now? You're back
I am in Paris at the moment, yes.
On your way to Nice for the big fight.
For the big fight, which will last approximately 13 seconds. I checked out my opponent.
Oh, no.
And he is master rank on like 5 characters. I barely get, I'm 2 divisions below. So my goal was actually to win 1 round. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to achieve that.
Who do you play as, if I may ask?
Manon on Street Fighter.
A little bit of advice,
6.
Patrick. You should practice a live game and not on the internet. You should practice side to side because
I don't have friends.
The latency is very different when you play in person.
He probably has friends that wouldn't be as good as him, and it would just be like fighting.
Yes, exactly.
Like, they would be horrible.
And then they wouldn't be friends anymore as well.
It's the latency. The latency is different. It's
you can really feel the difference in the latency. Okay, maybe so. It's my game is at like 10, so I'll go in early if I can and try to practice
play there.
So I will have like an extra half hour of trading. Thanks for the advice.
So this is at EVO Nice. It's coming up on Friday, and Patrick says, "So you're I don't know what this means, but you're Platinum 5. Sounds good. Sounds like a good level. Yeah,
it's better than I've ever been, but there's Platinum 5 subdivisions per rank, and so after Platinum there's Diamond, and then you get to Master. And so it's not even like one rank.
What we would call
me.
in chess, you're an expert, not a master.
I guess that would fit. Okay. And that guy, because you get your,
and he's a
bracket,
master.
Your opponent, he's a master on like 5 different characters, as I said.
Now,
he goes to local tournaments all the time.
You don't know what character he's going to choose either.
Well,
so
I checked out his profile.
Yes,
so he has 5. I guess I'm going to bank on one and try to learn how to counter that character. But so my big dreams of winning one round are probably. But then you know what? It's a double elimination tournament, so I always have the losers bracket to win one round.
And do not despair because upsets happen. That's what makes these tournaments exciting. You could surprise everyone.
I did train with a listener who offered to play with me, and he is master. And I won about a fourth of the games.
Ooh.
So
Now, General Tab has a question. It's his opinion that you don't have a chance against anybody less than 30 years old. Is your opponent less than 30 years old?
It is very possible.
He could be 15 for all you know. You don't know.
Be 15.
That's not true though. Some of the best players are in their 40s.
Some of the best players are.
Some of the best players, Street Fighter players, are in their 40s.
Yeah. Again, it's that muscle memory that you end up developing to that. But it's just someone that's.
But it's also the fast twitch.
5 different characters that you are going to have to be at that level for. Yeah, the fast twitch muscles. Yes.
And actually, the being there at the tournament. I have never done it, so I will be completely like I did an online tournament with my listeners. There were 5 of us, and I freaked out completely and couldn't,
The unfortunate thing, the anxiety. But it's interesting because anxiety will add if you have mastered a skill. Anxiety will actually make you better. Like not thinking is actually a better scope. If you haven't mastered a skill, then it makes you worse. So sometimes shutting off and not knowing and just letting yourself be in the zone, really the problem is you can't care whether you win or lose. You don't want every loss that you have to play over in your head. You want to be able to kind of, whenever I work with people that are at high level performance kind of work, you want to always only be in the moment and not worry about every mistake that you make, because if that plays, you're not there in the moment that you need to be able to do it.
What she's telling you, Patrick, is use the force, Patrick.
I will try very hard to use the force and not care about anything in that very moment.
Put on that helmet.
So much fun just being there.
Yeah,
you're going to have a great time. That's the main thing. In fact, that's probably the best way to approach it. It's just, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to do this and have fun.
I'm going there because since we're talking about EVO, I have to talk a little bit more. EVO is a legendary tournament that happens in the US in Las Vegas and in Tokyo, and the best fighting game players are Japanese. And probably the best known moment of esports history is one called EVO Moment 37, which is an incredible move that happened at 2004-3, and that put those things on the map for a lot of people. So going there is not about winning that one round, which I promised myself and my community and my listeners that I would. It's really about being able to say, I'm an EVO competitor.
It's true. EVO is the best esports
Get all the
event.
shirts. Get all the shirts.
Is it? It's Benito's vouching for this.
EVO's the best one, especially because the FGC is the best esports community also.
Now, how do you get invited to it, if I may ask?
I'm sorry?
How did you get invited to it?
Well, funny thing, Evo is the only open tournament.
Yeah, that's what makes it. That's what makes it so popular. That's what made it so popular. It's like any old person can go in there and
so
win
they're
it
doing
all.
Street Fighter, they're doing Tekken,
And-
they're doing Guilty Gear.
They have like
Fatal Fury.
Fatal Fury, Dragon Ball Z. And the thing is, you have, especially in popular ones, maybe not in Nice, but you have thousands of competitors that go there. So the first couple of days are literally, rows and rows of
fun.
consoles with people playing their matches. It's like one of the only esports competitions that works like that. And when it's in Las Vegas, for Street Fighter alone, I think last year was 8,000 competitors.
Wow.
Imagine 8,000 people, and that's for one game. Tekken is maybe 4,000, and the others are also in the hundreds and thousands. So, yeah, it's a very iconic thing, and that's why I'm going. So I don't care if I win.
Oh, yeah, it's so much fun. And you know what? You can always take a walk on the promenade in Nice and look at the ocean. And do you have this fancy controller thing that this guy has? What?
No, I don't have that one. I have another one which is not the standard. You do need, because Street Fighter.
You're a hitbox guy? Are you a hitbox guy?
I can talk about this for 2 hours.
You're a hitbox guy, Patrick?
I'm sorry, what?
You're a hitbox guy?
No, I do not have a hitbox. I'm not, I really don't play that much. I started training a month ago, half an hour a day. As like half an hour a day, I'm going to do it. And I went from Platinum 2 to Platinum 5. That's crazy.
Oh, lovely.
And
do you get to bring your own controller to the event?
You do have to bring your own controller.
Do they check to make sure that you don't have like macros programmed into your controller?
I don't think they do.
No, they do. They do.
Do they?
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, because like that would be the thing is you see the guy with the other controller and they're like, that move should not have been done that way.
And will there be an audience for this?
Giant.
I don't think for the first couple of
the
games,
final rounds,
for a couple
then they
of
have
Then they have an audience, and I'm guessing that the big players are gonna come to Nice. I've seen that one of them, Bonchan, is like in my pool, one of the best players, and he's like 2 games away from me. So
right.
I could have.
Yeah, so the big players are also in the pools. So they will stream some of those events. So yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Evo.
It's a very special event amongst the esports and competitive video games. Evo has, I think it's probably the best known with League of Legends Worlds. Those are the 2 that are the best known events, and this one has a very special place in a lot of people's hearts. So being able to go to a minor one is something I didn't want to miss.
Well, my mom told me never play pool with a guy who owns his own queue, and never play Street Fighter with a guy who brings his own controller. So I shall never be playing you, but we wish you the best, Patrick. We'll be following with interest.
Leo, I am soon to be an Evo competitor, so I think it's wise of you to not
very
play.
Very.
You're gonna have to add that to your lower third now. You're gonna have to add that to your lower third.
That is Evo competitor.
Yes.
Patrick
Evo.
Beja, brackets, Evo competitor.
The brackets are online. You can go watch and see how Patrick does.
There you go.
On the Evo website. We're going to take a break, come back with some final thoughts in just a moment. You're watching This Week in Tech. Our show today brought to you by Miro. Oh, I love Miro. We do a lot of our shows using Miro. Miro's great for any team that's working together. Every day you see headlines speculating how AI is coming for our jobs, how it's creating fear and anxiety in people. But Miro has a different story to tell. A recent survey found that 76% of Miro users believe that AI can benefit their role, although 54% struggle to know when to use it. This is why Miro has created the Innovation Workspace. This is an intelligent platform that brings people and AI together in a shared space to get great work done. Miro's been empowering teams to build and transform bold ideas into the next big thing for over a decade. Micah and I used it on when we were doing the Tech Guys, Ask the Tech Guys show. It was a great way, even though we were in different places, to prepare a show together, work on it, and deliver it every Sunday. Today, Miro's at the forefront of bringing products to the market even faster by unleashing the combined power of AI and human potential. I wish we'd had Miro's Innovation Workspace. This will help your team be faster, more productive, and ultimately more effective. Here's how. Teams can work with Miro AI to turn unstructured data. This is the beauty of it. You can take a sticky note, a napkin, a soggy napkin, or screenshots, enter them all in and turn them into, using the Miro Innovation Workspace, usable diagrams, product briefs, data tables, and prototypes in minutes. They look great, they're professional, and they're really helpful. It's more than just putting a mood board, a bunch of ideas on a board. You can rapidly iterate with teammates to bring your ideas to life fast. Quickly build on your ideas without needing the perfect question or prompt. That's always a showstopper, right? I don't know, what should I type? You get writer's block with AI. Well, you don't have to be an AI master or to toggle yet another tool. The work you're already doing. In fact, I hope you're using Miro now, because you can now try the Innovation Workspace. The work you're already doing on that Miro canvas becomes the prompt. You don't have to write a prompt. Help your teams get great done. I love that. Help your teams get great done with Miro. Check out Miro.com to find out how. This is a really great product. Miro.com. Thank you, Miro, for all the help you've given us in preparing our shows and for supporting This Week in Tech. Well, special thanks, too, to the folks who support us in the club. Your club, I can't call them donations. They're not tax deductible, but your support in the club makes a big difference to us. 25% of our operating expenses come from club members like you. And I think as time goes by, that is going to go up, which is great. It means we can do more. We can bring you more shows. We can spend more time in special club events. We had a wonderful AI user group on Friday. Club members participated. We had so many smart people in our club. And that's one of the reasons I love the Club Twit Discord. The Discord is a bunch of great people hanging out together, not just during the shows, but all around the clock, talking about all of the things people are, geeks are interested in. We do a bunch of special events coming up. Chris Marquardt's Photo Corner is going to be on October 16th, photo time. The day before, Micah's Crafting Corner, which is always fun, a chill place, kind of a Bob Ross-like place to bring your craft. He does Legos, but you could do knitting, crochet, painting, coding, whatever. I cooked the last time. We also have Stacy's Book Club coming up later this month on October 17th. I love this book, A Memory Called Empire by Arkady Martin. Highly recommended. If you haven't started it yet, you still have time. And then join us at 1 p.m. Pacific on Friday, October 17th for Stacy's Book Club. These are all things the club lets us do. Oh, that D&D adventure is going to be fun, too. Micah Sargent, our Dungeon Master, is putting that together later this month. We'll get the exact date for you soon. $10 a month, $120 a year. You get ad-free versions of all the shows. You get a special access to all of our hosts. You also get the good feeling to know you're supporting the kind of content, independent, non-regulated, without fear or favor content that I think is so important in this day and age. Support the club. We really appreciate it. twit.tv/clubtwit. Thanks in advance. Moving along, just a few final stories, although I'm glad to know that we can root for you, Patrick, in a special event. It's nice to know a pro. Let's see. I think we've done a lot of the stories I put in here. I'm sorry about this. We talked last week about Jaguar. 4 weeks, their production line was down due to ransomware. In fact, they went to the UK government and borrowed $2 billion to keep the payroll going. And oh my God. Well, the latest is the Asahi Brewery. Oh no. From the Register, Ian Thompson, no suds for you.
Yeah, it's a bad one. Thankfully it's just in Japan. So domestic market, the distribution. They had interviews with restaurateurs like, we're down to our last barrel. But
Asahi's great. I love Asahi Dry. I drink it all the time.
It's the biggest brewery in Japan, and it's basically been crippled by an attack.
Ransomware.
Yeah, it sounds that way. They have said that data has been exfiltrated. So, yeah, it's looking like ransomware. And in those kind of circumstances, they're not going to pay because they've got to strip their systems out anyway. So it's now down to manual taking it of orders and deliveries. So
it's just such a nightmare out there, I tell you.
Yeah. I mean, the Jaguar thing was just because it has enormous knock-on effects in the rest of the industry. In that, a lot of Jaguar's parts are made by third-party suppliers. They're now not getting paid. So the loan was basically tied an awful lot of people over. The Japanese government hasn't been that good when it comes to offering similar bailouts. So we're going to have to see how this goes. Plus, it's a difficult political sell to, no, beer drinkers must have their beer.
Around September 29th, hackers began sending emails to executives saying, "We know what you did last summer or last night," or numerous. This is from Google. Google's head of cybercrime analysis, Genevieve Stark, told TechCrunch, hackers associated with a prolific ransomware group are sending extortion email to executives at numerous large organizations, claiming to have stolen their sensitive information from a suite of business software products developed by Oracle. Hundreds of compromised accounts affiliated with the Slop ransomware gang. So this is kind of the new thing. It used to be they would just encrypt your data and say, if you ever want to see your data again, send us, $1 million in Bitcoin. Now they're doing that and blackmailing people.
Well, yes, it's a classic double attack. So basically, you steal the data, you lock down the PCs, and then you hold that data for ransom. There is, in fact, a new trend of tertiary stage attacks where they will steal the data and then go after their third-party suppliers and say, look, we've got all these details on your company because you dealt with the company we've just hacked. You pay us money and we'll protect your data in the data dump. But at the end of the day, you're trusting criminals. And we've seen earlier this year, for example, a school board decided to pay up to ransomware operators just to make sure their data was secure. And they released it anyway. So there is no honor amongst thieves when it comes to this sort of thing.
I know you're going to the Evo championships, but maybe, I don't know, Ian, are you good at Excel? The Microsoft Excel championships
great story.
are coming up. I love this. Excel is, by the way, happy birthday, 40 years old as of September 30th. And the nerds are gathering for the World Excel Championships.
We have British skin in the game as well.
For the first time, the UK championships are coming up. Mm-hmm. The FMWC Microsoft Excel World Championship UK. So it's hysterical what they do. Ian, can you describe what this is like?
It's basically building the most functional spreadsheet you can in the shortest amount of time.
They give them weird puzzle challenges.
Yeah.
And here they are. Here the nerds are. I don't want to smell this room. I just want to say that right now. Players are introduced WWE style. The names echoing around the arena as they're made to march through a smoke-filled, neon-lit hype tunnel, whether they like it or not. Once they reach the stage, every Excel spreadsheet move is beamed onto a 50-foot LED screen and broadcast worldwide on ESPN.
I do love this. You take the most boring application on the planet and you turn it into a game. It's marketing genius. It really is.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Anyway, watch for the UK championships, and then I guess ESPN will broadcast the global championships.
I think it's December that they're doing the global one.
Yeah.
But yes.
So if you win the UK championship, you get an all expenses paid trip to Las Vegas to represent the UK at the World Championships. That's in the HyperX Esports Arena on the Strip, a 3-day Excel knockdown, drag out fight.
I love it. they're obviously enthusiasts.
Great. Yeah. Make it fun. Make it enjoyable. I love it. I think that's great.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool because you take anything that someone's really good at and you watch them do it, and it's magical. Like, it's magical, and it just seems like really amazing. And I don't know. I've done an Excel. I'm not good at it all, but I'm not showing up. But I've done an Excel sheet now and then, and it's a really useful. It's so helpful. So I don't know. I think that's fun and cool, and make it exciting. And yeah.
Yes.
Well, I think we should all go to Las Vegas to watch. You want to see the highlights from the finals in 2023?
For a live head-to-head competition in an e-gaming arena.
It's counting on you. Yeah.
Oh, look! Oh my God! He's going to do an entire range.
You can see his keystrokes. That's awesome.
Look at the keystrokes on the right. Control plus, Control Shift.
Complete this entire case.
Trim. He's using the trim command. Oh, I don't know. I've never seen that done before. Oh, the entire spreadsheet's empty.
I was going to say,
if you hit delete at the wrong time, soul crushing.
The announcers. That's hysterical.
That's why he would be a professional, because he wouldn't do that. I would. He wouldn't.
So
is Copilot allowed? Is Copilot allowed?
No, this year maybe. I don't know. That's a big part of Microsoft. Lou Maresca, one of our favorite hosts on our shows, is in charge of AI and Python in Excel. So
I would hope they don't. That seems like cheating. It's kind of like turning up to a pub quiz with a smartphone hidden in your pocket.
Well, if everyone was using it, that would be a different thing, because then still the people that could use that better would be still better at it.
Totally different skill, but yeah.
Yeah.
You could have a separate room for the AI nerds. Maybe. I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have come to the end of this thrilling and gripping edition. We wish you, Patrick, the very best in Nice.
Yes, give him hell. Break a leg.
Defend
quite
our
literally,
honor.
As it turns.
I will break someone's leg.
He can still play.
I will do my best.
So
hopefully.
I'm familiar with Mortal Kombat. Is this Street Fighter is kind of like that, right? You got two players. You're looking at the side, and they got moves, and they're battling each other. Is it 3 rounds? Is it like boxing? What is the?
Yeah. Two. I mean, it depends how they set it up, but yeah, it's usually 2 rounds wins a game, and you get 2 games for a match. So best of 3 is how it usually goes. And I will try to find my opponent and break their leg before the match, so they have to,
Yeah.
Break his thumbs. Don't forget the legs.
That's true. Yeah, he doesn't need the leg. He doesn't need the leg. That was probably the wrong thing to aim
I was
for.
hoping to do it like half an hour before, so they have to go to the hospital. But
you
got to talk trash beforehand. You have to get into his head, really.
Get that Tanya Harding stick and whap him on the knuckles. That's what you got to. That's what you got to do. Honestly, that's great.
All mind games. All mind games.
It's nice to know that we have some real athletes in our midst. Thank you,
Next,
Patrick.
I'll enroll in the Excel championship. That's
yes. Notpatrick.com. Follow all the excitement. Join the Phileas Club and all his other wonderful podcasts. Thank you so much, Patrick. So great to see you.
Thank you, Leo.
Thank you. Thanks to Ian Thompson, theregister.com.
Always a pleasure.
Going strong.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Anything you want to plug or?
Oh, well, it's going to be a busy month. I mean, we've got Dreamforce in town, so there's going to be 50,000 people flooding into San Francisco, and Metallica are playing, but they're not my cup of tea. But
wait a minute, they are bringing in Metallica to play for Dreamforce?
Well, Metallica's local. I mean, Metallica's local.
Well, I know it's not a long trip for Metallica, but I think they probably charge a pretty penny.
Well, I mean, this is traditionally what they've done. I mean, Oracle got the whole thing of trying to make tech conferences sort of more fun by getting in big bands. And I've seen Lenny Kravitz and, various other bands there. Dreamforce got into it in the same way, but there was this shameful incident when they booked, it's not Billy, who wrote White Wedding? Billy Idol.
Billy Idol.
Yeah,
yes.
And they brought him in to do the concert, and he changed the lyrics to White Wedding. It's a nice day for CRM.
I
lost a lot of respect from him that concert.
Oh, it's, by the way, not just Metallica. If that's a little too heavy for you, Benson Boone is also performing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Like his little flip.
Yeah, I like that little flip at the Grammys or wherever that was. Yeah, in his jumpsuit he was wearing.
His onesie.
Yeah, I mean it can work. Oracle was a bit. They had a whole thing of hiring lots and lots of bands from the 80s, and it was kind of painful when Berlin came on and we're playing in the park outside Moscone Center.
Breath away.
But this was it, in a 40-minute concert, nobody was listening to them at all until that one song came on.
They have one hit.
Yeah. You really felt for them because it's just like, okay, let's make them wait for the last one. So. Yeah, it should be a good show, but it's mainly the number of cloud people who are coming into town. So there's a whole series of interviews to get set up.
Well, and Matthew McConaughey apparently is giving a keynote.
Hey, the Princess of Belgium is coming over as well. So.
Matthew McConaughey is a Salesforce brand partner of all things. Wow. And Maria Shriver and Mel Robbins. Wow. Oh, I love Bozoma St. John. She was very impressive at was it Microsoft event? I think it was. And Sundar Pichai. Well, okay. Have fun at Dreamforce.
We'll see.
That sounds exciting.
Good.
Yeah. And thank you so much, Georgia Dow. I appreciate it. Taking a little time off from listening to Taylor Swift's new album to join us. No, I'm teasing you. Have you listened to it?
I like it.
Yeah. It sounds like all her other albums to me. But I'm not in the demographic, I think, is the problem.
Music is good. Like whatever you feel, it can be really healing and soothing. So like,
there you go.
It's a nice thing. There we go.
That's why I listen to Metallica. It's very healing and soothing.
Hey, listen. Sometimes you want to get the aggression out. That works as well.
There's nothing more soothing than battery. Thank you, Georgia. YouTube.com/Georgia Dow. Please, everybody, go there. Let's get our subscription up. We want to get to 1 million so you get that special platinum button. I want you to get the special platinum button. Thank you, Georgia. It's great to see you. Thanks to all of you for joining us. We do twit every Sunday, about 2 to 5 Pacific time, PM. That would be 5 to 8 Eastern time, 2100 UTC, middle of the night for Paris. But thank you for being here. If you want to watch live, in your club members can watch, of course, in the Discord, but there's also YouTube for everybody. YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, X.com, and Kick. And we're thinking about abandoning TikTok because it's very complicated for us to do. Requires Benito to keep pushing buttons every hour and things like that. So if anybody watches a TikTok and says, no, please, you got to keep the TikTok feed, let us know. Otherwise, I think this might be the last time we'll do Twitter on TikTok, but there's still 6 other places you can watch us. And you don't have to watch us live. That's the beauty of it. It's a podcast. Download a copy, audio or video, from our website, twit.tv. There's a YouTube channel dedicated to the video. And of course, you can subscribe in your favorite podcast client and get it automatically. That way you'll have it ready for your Monday morning commute. 20 years we've been doing this, and for 20 years I've been saying the same thing. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next week. Another twit is in the can. Bye-bye.